Wednesday, July 10th. I am Gabe. I'll tell you, but it's double impact, guys. It's going to be a great night. This movie is so bad, it's good. I am here with my good friend, the man, the myth, the legend, the midnight lover himself, Jericho Green. Jericho, before the show started, there was slander in the chat, which I brought out into the light of day. They say sunshine is the best. Look at Heather already attacking you. She says, wait, it says waiting for Gabriel, the message on YouTube, but I bet it means we're waiting for Jericho. Now, what's the difference between me and you? Why would you say you were the late one? Because I think I know what motivated this.
I think we all know, but truth be told, I wasn't. So
I was the late one.
You can take that and shiv it.
That's right.
With me.
Yeah, and just because Jericho is from Northern California doesn't mean that's why he was late. Because I know that's what you were thinking. You know?
Yeah, and it's also Northern California, the burden of having the better Mexican food.
Right.
But anyway,
Mexican food compared to places like New York City,
everywhere.
And Maine, and Rhode Island, everywhere but San Diego. I'll give you LA. LA's like, San Diego's better than LA when it comes to
smell A.
Yeah. Oh, I hate Los Angeles. I hate Los Angeles. Oh,
Los Angeles?
It's not great.
Isn't it just people roller skating on Venice Beach? Los Angeles?
It is not at all.
Oh.
It's if you like poop and heroin needles on the sidewalk, I got something for you with Los Angeles.
And if you like a pile of poop with a needle sticking out of it, well, you better book your flight because that is going to be your happy place.
Right. So,
or how AOC said it, baby girl.
Baby girl. Goodness gracious me. AOC, hot or not? I have friends that don't like her. I don't like her. But then they say, but she's hot. I don't agree.
I would say she's hot. She's cute.
She's
But when she opens her mouth, it's like, oh, now the blood's going somewhere else.
Look at Kara. The entire Midwest is better than LA.
You can have it. Yeah, you can have it.
No.
We'll take a Midwestern state to replace Los Angeles. Yeah, thank you.
Here's the thing, Kara, why you're right and wrong at the same time. Having worked for the Hollywood companies and spent a fair bit of time up in Los Angeles, that Los Angeles is the Midwest. No one who's working in Hollywood is from LA. They're all people who are ashamed of being from Iowa and hate their dad and moved to LA to be a movie star. So the Midwest isn't really better than LA because it is LA. It's filled with Midwest weirdos, Los Angeles. It really is.
Yeah, it's itself. It is the Midwest.
Yeah. So
it's unfortunate. Bunch of transplants.
Right. Yeah. Nobody's from there that's there. Whenever I find out an actor or something is like, oh, he was born in San Fernando Valley, I'm like, oh, wow, how rare.
Yeah, well, there's some Brad Pitts,
right,
stuff like that are home.
Bryan Cranston, your Adam Carollas, they're Los Angelinos, but many are not. Many are not. Get a little business out of the way. Guys, 2 weeks from tonight, it's going to be my 46th birthday. That's right. And we're going to kick off the biggest and best comic book convention in the world, the San Diego Comic-Con at Basic. It's just a few steps from the San Diego Convention Center. It's a great way to start Comic-Con, the best week in movies and video games, and of course comic books, the San Diego Comic-Con. And tickets are sold out. We sold out like in 2 days for this. I have a few more in reserve. I got to check with friends and family and see if I have any more. And if I do, I will release some to the public because I did get messages and emails, people who didn't get a ticket and they wanted one. So you have to follow me on socials because that's obviously where I'll announce it if I do. But I've got a few announcements about that. Stuttering Craig from Side Scrollers will be signing at my booth, 1705, in case you missed the giant writing there. Friday, he'll be signing. Nerdrotic and Quarter Black Garrett. So he's only a little late to things. He's only a quarter black. They'll be signing on Saturday at my booth. And Alan and Chris from Film Threat, they're having a funeral from Star Wars on the 17th. I think a week from today, they're having a funeral for Star Wars, I think, on their channel. That's hilarious. And it's funny because I had the same idea. I was going to tell them, hey, at the party on the 24th, what if we had a funeral for Star Wars? But they already thought of it, I guess, same time I did. They'll be signing Thursday and Saturday. In addition, all these great guys and Jericho and myself will be at Basic on Wednesday night, having a great time. There'll be giveaways and just a really, really fun thing. So that's what we've got. And then debuting at Comic-Con, I will not unfurl this, but I showed it to Jericho before the show. These will be free at my booth. It's a preview of what my company has coming. My next 4 books for 2024, 2025 are contained within So there's 4 different covers and 4 little synopses,
I think.
I guess. So if I unfold it this way, you'll see here's one. It has some artwork from Empyrean there, and then a synopsis of the story there. And that goes for the other 3 books that I'll be announcing at Comic-Con with awesome cover reveals and a little bit of sketch, some flavor drawings and stuff like that. So we're going to have a great time with that. Are you looking forward to coming down and having real Mexican food in San Diego, Jericho?
I'm looking forward to coming down and having some Mexican food. Yeah, sure.
All right.
But I don't know that real word you threw in there. That wasn't necessary because I'm already aware.
All right. Heather says she loves Quarter Black. She's so bummed she can't go. Well, you're going to have to hold down the fort in Arizona. It's 100. I think that's what you told me you are. It's like
112,000. Yeah.
Right. And I was telling Jericho, we have a heat wave in San Diego. Today was the crest of it, the hottest day, and then it's going to cool back down. It hit 81 today, dude.
Oh, I bet you guys are fucking laying on the pavement outside.
Yeah, dude. I had to get an iced tea and put it in my thermos. It was, it was something. But you know what? We get through. We're San Diegans. We get through. 81. Nobody likes to see it, but it happens, man. It's the middle of summer. It happens.
We all have our cross to bear. Well, currently in my residence near Sacramento, California, it's 102. So take that.
Brother, it's hot.
It's hot, brother.
And we ain't talking about just the ladies. We're talking about your gooch is sweating, Jericho.
I'm talking about the skin bridge.
Heather hit 120.
Gross. What the fuck? You don't need your oven at that point. Just cook shit outside on the porch. My goodness, Arizona. But that's what it's like when you live in the sun's butt crack.
My mother and my aunt, they live together a lot, and my aunt has a place in Tahoe where it still gets pretty warm. But they were in Phoenix 2 years ago while the Tahoe house was having construction. And I went to go visit my mom and my aunt out there for 3 days. I left after the second day because it was 118. I told them I couldn't take it. I'm just sorry. I'm a San Diegan, and I just I don't do 118. Now I will put up with that heat in the summer when I go to Vegas. I'll put up with it. I will. So, she's in Havasu. She's in Havasu. That's right.
It's what, Arizona? Yeah, it is Arizona, right?
Yeah. It's the border of California, Arizona. It's kind of, it goes right down the border of the 2 states.
It's too much, man. It's too much.
Hey, man, that's pretty hot.
That's crazy.
So what's the latest with you?
Just working kids, finding my time to crank out more content. Definitely looking forward to coming down to Comic-Con on the 24th.
Okay.
And yeah, we got things working behind the scenes and, irons in the fire, waiting to see what plays out. So, living La Vida Loca.
That's right. That's right. That the married husband life, getting buck wild.
Constantly. If you want constant sex, tireless sex, get married.
Mark's music obsession. Remember, for 11 months, but not really. You got to add 3 more to that. I'm more than happy with my Florida weather and our politics. Living on the coast is a gift. It is.
You, brah.
It is. I've been to the beach a lot lately. I was there all day with Big Baby and friends on the 4th of July. It was nice. It was beautiful. I did wake up at 6. No, I woke up at 5 a.m. on the 4th of July and packed up the car. My wife packed a bunch of stuff the night before, and we jumped in the truck and we drove down there, and the parking lot was already about 30% full. There's a beautiful beach. My favorite beach is La Jolla Shores. La Jolla is the richest part of San Diego. And the whole town's rich, but like La Jolla is like the bougiest part. And La Jolla Shores is it's out of a postcard. It's a beautiful beach. It's shallow for many, many, many yards, and it's pretty clear. It was awesome. So we went down there, got our parking spot, staked out a spot, and it was an awesome day. And then my wife and Big Baby showed up later, but it was good to go down there early and get a spot. Then we came home, sat around the house, got some really good food, and then we went out at night and watched the fireworks. You park on Morena Boulevard, which is right in front of SeaWorld. So you're right in front of the ocean. Everybody parks on Morena Boulevard, and you can see all the downtown fireworks. You can see the SeaWorld fireworks. Then a lot of rich people have boats and yachts in Mission Bay. So where SeaWorld is, there's a bunch of water. It's like it's Mission Bay. And so rich dudes with their boats there, they'll just do private fireworks shows. I guess they get a license for it or whatever. And there was one right in front of us, 50, 70 yards right in front across you park on Marina Boulevard. There's the highway, then there's the ocean, and there's or the harbor, or the bay, and people are just launching fireworks. So it was an awesome night. It was really fun. It's kind of a family tradition. We always go down to Mission Bay to watch the fireworks.
I mean, if you have the cash, you might as well get the permit to shoot off fireworks.
Right. No. Oh, you think we'll throw around some cash this year and invest in better fireworks?
Why not? It's a write-off.
So for those of you that need a visual, here's Mission Bay right here. Let me bring it up. So you see so on the right of that, what you can't see off screen, the freeway would be over there. Marina Boulevard and the freeway, the 5 freeway that goes up the coast. That would be there. You can park right there, and then there's boats all in here and people launching fireworks and stuff. It's really awesome. So just another day in paradise.
That's what we do. That's why we don't want to leave California, because we're giving at it.
Is there any hope to you? This is not an overly political show. You know, everyone knows where you and I stand. Is there any hope for this state? I still have my fingers crossed. We can come out of this liberal nosedive, this communist nosedive in California.
The only reason I would think that we could is because, contrary to popular belief, especially if you don't live here, it seems like the entire state of California has just lost its mind. We're all a bunch of granola-headed dirt fuckers. We're all, we're all pro everything fucked up. But the truth of the matter is that's pretty much in 2 places. Silicon Valley, up here up north in the Bay Area, where you have every app on your phone, Cash App, Google, Instagram, X, or is X still here? Did he move X? But PayPal, all that stuff, all the apps that come on your phone, all the big tech companies, they're in the Bay Area. And then you have Los Angeles, Hollywood. And like Gabe said before, it's a bunch of people who aren't from California. So maybe they don't have as much skin in the game. They don't have the memories and growing up here and seeing California change.
Right.
Maybe, I don't know. But most people in the state of California aren't with the bullshit. Once you get away from the water, and that goes for the East Coast too. It's something about living on the coast that makes you stupid. But once you go inland and getting into farmland where all the produce come from, the nuts and fruits and shit like that,
I have a theory.
You got working class people who don't fuck with that.
I have a theory why the big cities are liberal. I'll tell you exactly why. The same reason cows and chickens get sick on the factory farms, you know, bird flu, mad cow disease, all those things, because they're living too cramped and close. So when we live in small villages, you know, 75, 100, 150 people, everybody knows everybody, and that creates accountability and a high trust society. Jericho, I know what you're doing. I know what your son is doing, and you have to do it for honor and respect, and you don't want to embarrass your family. When you live in a city like Los Angeles, 20 million people in that whole vicinity plus the city, you can anonymously do whatever you want, and there's no one to hold you accountable. But when you live in Walnut Grove, like Little House on the Prairie, or you live in, you know, Smallville, USA, with a main street and everybody knows everybody, then you can't fuck around and get away with it, because like, what's that Johnson boy doing? He's supposed to blah, blah, blah. So this is why living with millions and millions of people is not healthy for us mentally and spiritually. So I feel like just like the animals on the farm get sick living too cramped, I think human beings get mentally, spiritually sick living cramped like that. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I've thought this for years. You know, I think that's what goes on.
That's a very good theory, and there could be a lot of truth to that.
Well, just think, if you're living in Hollywood and you want to do drugs and be irresponsible, just be a degenerate, who's going to hold you to it? Who's going to tell you anything? Your family's living back in Missouri or whatever. You don't know anybody. You're just hedonism. You're just going to brunch and going to, like, your day. If you look at like your schedule, just pleasure all day. What do I want to do? And when do I want to do it? And how hard do I want to do it? That's the life of those Los Angelino people in the entertainment industry. No marriage, no kids, no nothing. Just me, 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 me. No accountability. And I think that makes people sick spiritually, very sick spiritually. So I think that's why the cities have that disgusting leftness in them, because the cities are all built around pleasure all day. What do I want all day? You know? Yeah,
true. Those small towns. And, you know, you had neighbors and stuff like that who would tell your parents, like, if you did something wrong, before you got home, your parents already knew, because they called them and told them,
right?
You know each other. Everybody knows each other. It's just that it takes a village mentality that we get when we get together, you know, in small groups like that.
Right. And that's one great thing about San Diego. Even though 3 million people live in the county, 1 million people live in the city, San Diego is a big, small city. It's the 8th biggest city in America, and you wouldn't know it if you were here. We don't have traffic jams like LA and all Houston and all those places. And it's like, it feels like a small city for some reason. You know what I mean? I don't know. It has all the convenience of modern large cities, but it doesn't have that feel, that ugliness. I think it is the conservative nature of this town. The fact that over a quarter of the population is military or former military. You know what I mean? And it is family oriented. It's like Orange County. Orange County is south of LA. That's where Disneyland and all that, Laguna Beach, Newport Beach, honey, all those really bougie, rich places. That San Diego and Orange County are the same. And they're both kind of Republican, both places. Or more conservative than LA and San Francisco. And what you see is families. You see people that have some money and have some success, but mostly it's the family. You notice when people have family and community, they tend to do better. You know what I mean? Because you're accountable to others. You can't just be selfish all day. So that's my big theory on why the cities are so blue. It's selfishness. It leads to degeneracy. So, Heather, she grew up in Rancho Cucamonga. For those of you not from California, that's a real place. I believe that's out east, like Pasadena and Pomona and all those. Those are out on the 10, right? Right, Heather? That's on the 10 freeway, like going from LA to Vegas. It's out that way, I believe. So.
Rancho Cucamonga. What a name.
Rancho Cucamonga. I have one other theory, and then we'll get to this movie, because this movie's an exquisite piece of garbage. I love this movie.
Yes, it is.
Running Man is garbage, but it's the kind I like. It's really fun. I have one more theory about Californians, man. Everyone who doesn't live here or spend any time here in the rest of America mocks California, talks about it, and has these ideas about it that are wrong. Oh, it's a liberal California. I'm like, Colorado's more communist than California. Like, there are so many states that are far left nonsense compared to California. It's so much worse. Colorado, my home state, being one of them. But people here, for those of you not from California who want to mock it, it's still a good place to live, actually. Here's how I can make you understand. This is for my American audience, non-Californian. The way you guys talk about California is the way non-Americans talk about America that irks you, and you know it isn't true. Oh, Americans wake up and shoot a gun in the air and eat a pound of bacon. You hear some European tell you shit like that, and you're like, that's not true. Well, the way you guys mock California is the same way that non-Americans mock America. Just letting you know. As someone that lives here, just letting you know that's a mistake you're making. So,
because it ain't like that.
Yeah. Oh, Captain Haruno, thank you for that. How did Minnie do last week? It was a murder. She is one of the best roasters. And the guy that heads up roasting, I don't know his name. I think it's Brad. I don't know if it's Brad. That just feels right. I could be wrong. You know, the four judges, they talk about her roast versus the other shit. The guy didn't even have a chance. And I can't even repeat those roasts on YouTube because they scare me, like, to repeat on here with YouTube's nonsense. She destroyed this guy. And then the judge is like, you won this. It was so funny that. But the guy that heads up the roast battle, I think he's Brad. He said of all, like, there's 13 official roast battle cities in the world. And he's seen so many roasters. He's organized so many events. And he said she is one of his absolute favorite roasters. So she's found a niche she's pretty damn good at. So I told Jericho one of them. It's not appropriate for YouTube, but
it's always appropriate.
She shocks me with the savagery with the roast. So
yeah, she's really good at it, and you have to be clever. You know, there's only a certain amount of words for us to use, so you have to take those same words and paint a very good picture in a very clever way, and she is amazing at that.
Well, these were not roasts, but like if he says something, like you could rebut real quick, you know, like just throw a little jab in there.
Yeah,
so
you gotta be
he
quick.
Says his joke, she says hers. They do 3 jokes back and forth, roasts. But if he gets you and you think of something clever, you could say a little something back. So he said something to her, and he was a black man of size. He was a big fat guy, and at one point she called him Martin Luther King size or something like that. It was really funny. I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
But another time she called him DMXXXL.
There are so many elements to that. It has to be funny, it has to be clever, and it has to be relatable. Like you have to say it, and like if you bring up like that DMX, it has to be somebody that people are going to know. So there has to be a level of relevance to it.
No, she's killing Captain Thing, and she's going to be doing. She's going to be playing Vegas in August. Jimmy Kimmel's Club at the Link Casino. My daughter will be doing stand-up there August 4th, I believe. I'll let you guys know. But yes, Minnie is going to be playing Jimmy Kimmel's Club. It's going to be awesome. August 4th.
Nice.
And she's doing another roast in July and another one in August and September, I think, or one in August, one in September. She's doing great. She's doing great. So it's going to be awesome. Let's see. Think about what you think about. If you can afford to live in California, it can be good. Yeah, I mean, but that goes for anything. But yeah, I get your point. You know, so
and it's easier if you're already from here. You know, to move to California, that's going to take some.
I don't even know how people can live here now. When I look at, I won't say numbers on the air, what I paid for my house a decade ago, October 14, I bought it, what it is worth now. And then I look at my interest rates from 14. Everyone remembers they were 2.5, 3.0. Now interest rates are 8 or 9. I do the math in my head and go, oh my God, the monthly on this house, if I bought it today, is like at least 3 times what I'm paying right now, I think.
Yeah, make you pass out.
Like how the hell people can't move here. They can't move here unless they're doing really well financially. They have to live somewhere else, which is fine. You know, I do tell people that because they want to build a bunch of housing in San Diego. And I'm firmly against that. Oh, we need to build affordable housing. No. If you cannot afford to live here, you don't get to live here. People are like, oh, how rude, how elitist of you. No. In 1999, I was a semi-employed construction worker, wannabe comic book artist. My wife was a waitress and a restaurant manager, and we couldn't afford to live here. So we moved to a little, like, you know, podunk place in Colorado that was very cheap. And we lived there. We went to college. We lived there for 8 years. We came back here. We got our careers on track and started making some real money. But it's like, I don't just live in the Hollywood Hills in a $20 million mansion because I want to. And that's no different. You can't just live by the beach in San Diego because you want to. And then say I'm a bigot or I'm like an elitist. I didn't live here when I couldn't afford it. So I don't have a problem with people. It's like, what do you think the cheap places are for? Go move there, get success, and then come back. I don't know. I don't know what's so hard about that.
No, it's just I'm the same way. I don't want that Section 8 bullshit over here. If you can't, you can't. That's all there is to it. Everything's not for everybody all the time. If you can't, then you can't. But when you can, you can. Right. Fuck that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't want them to overcrowd our neighborhoods and all kinds of crap. Like, I lived in the ghetto. I lived in a place in Colorado. My next door neighbor, they shot the front of his house a few times, some drive-by thing. Oh, so nice. My wife and I worked really hard and made great money to get the hell out of neighborhoods like that. So yeah, I don't need them ruining the nice neighborhood that I earned. I don't need them ruining that for me. So
nope. If you can't, then you can't. That's okay.
Right. Diesel wants me to start an OnlyFans. Mr. E says only beards. I feel like there's not a big market for this.
No.
Will anyone pay me $5 right now to look at my beard? Because I'm going to cover it. Pay up. I'll cover it the rest of the show. You think I'm fucking kidding? Pay. Jericho, cover your beard. They need to pay to see this sexiness.
This is behind the paywall.
That's right. I'll let you see a sideburn. You want to see a sideburn, but you want to see the business end of this beard. And I need $10.
You know what? Sometimes, Gabe, if there's not a path, you have to blaze one yourself. And if there's no market for only beards, maybe we need to make it.
Let's see. Let's see if the money comes jangling in. I feel like it's not going to happen. I don't know how long I can hold on. Right. All right, you guys win. Okay.
You might be right, man.
That's okay, though.
But don't give up.
That's right. Never give up on your dreams, kids. I got to show you guys 2 little video clips that are of the movie. And we will get rolling on the Arnold Schwarzenegger 1987 classic,
The
Running Man. Present video file. Here we go. And 0. Here we go. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Now, plane 0.
He was Sub-Zero. Now he's Plane Zero.
Ooh, look at that writing.
That was awesome. And then we have this one. He says all his catchphrase with it.
On your marks. Get set. Julian.
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
Only in a rerun.
And then Killian hits him with only in a rerun. I like that. I love that.
But speaking of the writing, it was written by David D'Souza, that his name?
I don't know.
And Stephen King. Because this is based off of a Stephen King book. He went by a different name when he wrote it. But Stephen King helped write this movie, and it is a war crime.
We ever see that the only movie Stephen King ever directed, Maximum Overdrive, where there's a semi-truck and all the machines come alive and start killing everybody?
Yeah.
I never watched it, but I would see it at the video store as a kid. And it was weird because the semi-truck had the Marvel comic book Spider-Man villain character, the Green Goblin's face, on the front of the semi-truck. That movie is unintelligible. And in an interview, Stephen King has said that he was really abusing a lot of cocaine at the time.
Yeah.
So, you know.
It showed. I've never seen it either, but I know the lore of how bad that movie was. And I don't doubt it. 80s, Stephen King, high on drugs, high on himself. Yeah, I'm sure that was a visual assault.
Well, he's just such a delight, Stephen King, you know. He's totally sane, totally doesn't have an unreasonable view of politics or Trump or anything.
Dude, Stephen King looks looks like what you think Stephen King would look like.
Right.
He looks fucking crazy.
Yeah, his son is a pretty good comic book writer. Joe Hill is the name he goes by. I think he didn't want to use his dad's name so he could kind of be his own thing at first. But Joe Hill has been an award-winning comic book writer. I think he wrote Batman and stuff for a while. He was at DC. He's still there, I think. I don't really pay attention to mainstream comics. But in the last few years that I worked for mainstream comic books, I know that this Joe Hill guy came in and got a lot of acclaim. So I guess the writing talent runs in the family. Because I won't say Stephen King's a bad writer, and I'll admit I've never read a Stephen King book, not one. But the consensus is he's a very good writer. Now, I did see the It movie, and there's something I can't repeat on YouTube. Underage in the book and the movie, and like, what's your problem, Stephen King? I don't want to get into that, but that was very disturbing. So that was.
But he's a great writer. I think he's a great writer. Yeah. Which is why I'm so surprised at what he did as far as helping write this movie. It's fucked up, man, in a lot of different ways.
Lucas Leto says Days of Thunder sucks worse. I saw Days of Thunder. It was all right. The Tom Cruise NASCAR movie. Yeah. It's all right. It was very formulaic to me. It felt very much like a Hollywood formula movie. Felt generic, not in a horrible way, but just kind of I don't care. I watched it.
It had to be better than this movie. It had to be. There's no way Tom Cruise would do that to us and make a worse movie than fucking Running Man. Holy hell.
Now, as a comic book creator myself, I do appreciate the comic bookiness of the Running Man movie. And you're going to find, what is Running Man about? Well, first of all, can we pay some respect to these 1986, 87 computer graphics of these sandwich bread like men running, because it's the Running Man. So they have this horrible CGI of these guys running. It kind of spins. Must have been the most impressive thing in 1987. And then you get into this. By 2017, the world economy has collapsed. Food, natural resources, and oil are in short supply. A police state divided into paramilitary zones rules with an iron hand. Television is controlled by the state, and a sadistic game show called The Running Man has become the most popular program in history. All art, music, and communications are censored. No dissent is tolerated. And yet, a small resistance movement that's really horrible font, has managed to survive underground. When high-tech gladiators are not enough to suppress the people's, sorry, I had to flip it there, yearning for freedom, more direct methods become necessary. So it's kind of weird to think like 2017 is come and gone, and their look at the future is kind of funny, a little bit like Demolition Man kind of thing, makes you wonder. But when they talk about all art and music is all suppressed and controlled, then I think about how the media is all just like rigged and controlled. The mainstream media, video games, music, movies is all on brand for the elites controlling brainwash message. Like, well, they didn't get that wrong. They didn't get the general strokes there wrong. So this movie, like They Live, is about authoritarian tyrannical control and the brainwashing of media. And Killian, the game show host, he gives a speech to Arnold right before Arnold kills him. Spoiler at the end. But I do think it's relevant, this movie. As corny it is, this is a corny movie, man. This is corny as hell. As corny as is, the message is very relevant to me.
Yeah, but I think that was just coincidental.
Oh, yeah. That's a coincidence.
Yeah, there was they didn't do that on purpose. That wasn't for some deeper message. There's nothing deep about this movie.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's 2 miles wide and a centimeter deep. But I think they wrote it that way back in the 80s out of like spoiled brat cynicism. Because you could imagine this movie comes out in 87. That means it was at least being written back in, 83, 84, 85 in development, perhaps. And America was at its zenith back then. Things were better than ever in the mid 80s, right? Financially, opportunity wise. So, I mean, there was that recession in the late 70s into the early 80s. But after that, things are turning around pretty well.
Yeah, you're pretty good to go.
In the Reagan 80s. So I do think there was a bit of cynicism there. So, yeah, it starts off with this high-tech display in this, assault helicopter or whatever. Group of guys, they're like paramilitary police enforcers. And they're in Bakersfield, California. Have you ever been to Bakersfield?
No, I think the better question would be, have you ever been through Bakersfield?
Right.
Because you're not stopped. There's no reason to stop there.
I'll tell you, I didn't think there was either. But I went with my wife 2 years ago to the General Sherman sequoia tree. It's one of the biggest trees in the world, where the trunk of the tree is like, 60 feet wide. Yeah. I've never seen the redwoods before, but I went there 2 years ago, and you got to drive through Bakersfield on the way from San Diego. There's a family farm there. It's all farmland in the middle of California, just endless fields of almonds and oranges and strawberries. It's beautiful. And there's Murray Farms, and they have a little store, like a little, tourist store there with beef jerky and honey and jelly and all that. But they make homemade empanadas, like a pastry dough filled with stuffings. Dude, insanely good. I'm talking like inside of they had a Thanksgiving one with turkey stuffing, cranberries, and gravy. They had a breakfast one with sausage, egg, and cheese. But it's completely homemade. So the dough is not like factory grocery store dough. This is flour, water, butter, baking salt, or baking soda and salt. Like the flakiest dough, the juiciest. They had a pork, like barbecue one. They had like a beef and vegetable gravy one. Like insane empanadas there at Murray Farms. So there is a reason to stop in Bakersfield to load up on a few of those for your road trip. Otherwise, hightail it through Bakersfield.
Hey, the Murray's Farm, I'm glad that you found a culinary destination. We're always willing to promote small businesses, family-owned businesses. That's wonderful. But did you go to Bakersfield to go to Murray's Farm? Or were you driving through Bakersfield and you thought, oh, that'd be cool to check out?
Right. That's how it went. We were looking for lunch, me and my wife, as we drove, and we saw this, and we're like, oh, let's stop. Here they are. Oh, they call them Okie pies. Dude, if you're ever near there, you have to get these things. They're just insanely delicious. And but no, we did not set out to go to Murray Family Farms.
You planned on driving right through Bakersfield.
Pedal to the metal, dude. Accelerator all the way down.
There's nothing in Bakersfield. If you're not into agriculture, nothing in Bakersfield.
Right. It was delicious.
You're damn right, Diesel. You're damn right.
Heather, my favorite Mexican restaurant in Carlsbad is now closed because the owner shot someone. Nazi's. Oh my God.
Damn.
Insane.
Somebody must have talked about that damn food and got dealt with.
Pastamania is technically family owned. No, Pastamania is fully family owned.
Yeah. If you don't have a family, you can't work there.
Yeah. And when you're there, you're family.
So it's very family oriented.
What is this? Just drive through Bakersfield. People get gonorrhea, herpes, syphilis. Ooh.
Oh, a little cocktail. Cocktail, no pun intended. But yeah, be careful. Don't touch anything. Just go to Murray's Farm and get the fuck out of there.
Get the Okie pie. See if they'll throw it in the car as you drive by.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to stop.
Pay online. Slow down to, 10, 15 miles per. Give them a chance to run up and toss it through your open window and then burn rubber.
I'm just saying, how could you not love meat, gravy, and flaky pastry crust?
Any way that you can make it easier to get food into my mouth, whether it be through some pocketed thing, put it on a stick. Yeah, I'm all for it. I fully support Murray's Farm and their Okie pies.
Oh, and to defend my British friend, Matthew Marsden, remember he came on here I'd never been to a British restaurant really before. So we Googled one when he was on, and he'll be back. And I found a place in San Diego, and I want you to come to it if there's time when you're here for Comic-Con Jericho, the Shakespeare Pub. And I took my granddaughter on a date there last week, just the two of us, because the rest of the family was busy. It's so good. Everyone says British food sucks. It's so good.
Are those mushy peas?
They're peas, and that's a shepherd's pie. That was ground beef, vegetable, carrot, celery, onion in the thick brown gravy, and super crispy French fries with a big bowl of gravy on the side. It was insanely good. I've been there like 4 or 5 times. I love the Shakespeare Pub. It's delicious. Well, you people were wrong about British food. It's delicious.
Like I said before we started recording, or before we went live, Britain conquered half the world and they fucked food up. So good job.
Yeah.
It was UK.
That's right, isn't it, Gov?
Isn't it? It's just Tuesday.
So Arnold is flying on a Black Hawk Apache. I don't know what he's flying. He's flying some paramilitary.
Whoa. African American Hawk.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
He's flying a Black Hawk to Bakersfield.
If she don't hawk to her, I don't talk to her.
Can you imagine getting famous for saying that? I saw she got like a $30,000 speaking engagement to judge to judge a bikini contest.
Yeah. She's coming up. Of course, this is definitely a 15 minutes of fame kind of thing. So I hope she maximizes it.
59 seconds heavy laps.
Just get it, girl. Get it. I mean, if people are gonna make you famous for something like that, dude, get your little speaking engagements, get your merch, all that shit.
Yeah.
Get your money. Get it. Because if someone's gonna buy it, damn it, sell it.
Right. So Arnold and the boys, he's the pilot of this chopper. The chopper.
Oh my goodness.
They're flying to Bakersfield. They were going there to go to Murray's farm. We got to get the oaky pie.
We got to get the Murray's. We get the pies there. You know what? If you like to hear Arnold go, then sit on a tarp because you're going to be coming a lot.
Right.
Because that is what 85% of his dialogue is. And
So
then the other 15% is, come on.
Right. I like this movie. I know you hate it. I like it. I know it's a bad movie, but it's entertaining. Bad movies can be entertaining. It's entertaining because it's bad.
It was. I don't know because it's chock full of Schwarzenegger hubris. This is just, he's so big, let him do what he wants.
Yeah.
This is 1987, so we already got Terminator,
Commando, Predator, Terminator. Yeah.
Predator came out the same year as this.
Right.
So you can't tell Arnold shit. You could tell he's smoking a cigar later in the movie. Like, what the fuck? It's just, let him, he's wearing a Gold's Gym shirt. Just let him do whatever the hell he wants. And it was a hit. They made like 10, 15 million over budget.
Get out of there. Get out of there.
Get down. Come on. Move it. Like it was Jamie. You always notice, I can't remember where I heard this, but ever since I did, it's true in all the movies. Anytime it's an action movie or a disaster movie, and people need to be evacuated, the star is always saying, come on, get down, run, go over there, sit. He's always yelling directions to other people to show how aware he is and how much of a hero he is. Mark my words. Next time you watch any kind of movie where it's something in public or somebody needs to be evacuated, come on, this way, run, hurry up, over there, take a right. They're always telling people what to do. And
Wouldn't
Arnold
it be weird,
must
though,
have
if they're
noticed
evacuating and Stallone's just watching some other guy give orders? That would be weird.
That would be very weird. Like, well, what are you here for? Thought you were the man.
You gotta get out of the building.
Hey, you would have died, dude. So that's what you get a lot. You get come on. Oh, people, this is the first 60 seconds of the movie. And I'm already done.
I'm going to go a little fast because I usually have about 150 photos. I took 238 pictures for us. So we'll do a little bit of lightning around here because I don't want to be a 7-hour episode.
I'm already done. 60 seconds in, I'm already done with this movie.
Okay, so they're flying to Bakersfield to go to Murray's farm to get
Bakersfield to get okie pies.
No, it's because there's a riot, because it's a horrible dystopian world and the people are starving, and the person on the headset, whoever the commander is, like telling him, light them up. And he's like, but they're just innocent people. Women and children want food. And they're just telling him, no, you have to shoot them. And he's like, no, that's insane.
1,500 people.
Shoot them. Yeah, they want him to kill all the people in Bakersfield. What will happen to Murray's Pie or Murray's Farm if they do that?
Well, they made sure that nobody who works for Murray's Farms is down there.
Oh, okay. So well, that's different then.
The Okie Pie supply will
I can still get my Okie Pies?
Yeah, despite 1,500 murdered people in the middle of Baco. And if you're anywhere from there, you call it Baco.
You know what? I heard back in high school, I heard Jim Rome call it Baco. And I always thought that was cool. Because it was he interviewed Joey Porter, Steelers linebacker. Remember him from the 90s? Yep. Colorado State Ram. That's where he played, Joey Porter, and the Steelers. And he's from Baco. He is from Bakersfield.
Phenomenal. Yeah, so Arnold, he didn't want to do it. Yeah, the people down there, they're innocent. I'm not going to do that. So, of course, all the other 4 psychopaths that he's in his helicopter with are totally on board. So the guy in the headset says, kill him, kill Richards. His name's Ben Richards. Kill him, kill Richards, take care of him. So, of course, Arnold's wearing a headset too. So he hears this. So then it's he's punching these guys and, throwing elbows just like in Commando. Don't bother my friend. He's dead tired. When he hit him with the elbow, then broke his neck and then put the hat over his face. So he's handing out elbows and right hooks to all these guys, knocks them out, knocks all of them out cold. And then, but they still get their hands on him and arrest him for
they almost throw him out the helicopter here. He's hanging out.
Got clothes. But he's the first guy to be thrown into prison for not killing somebody.
Right. Yeah, he gets thrown in there for insubordination, I guess. But Wilshire detention zone, 18 months later.
18 months later.
Real quick, Diesel. Gabe, you ever been to Julian for their parts? Diesel, I've been to Julian so many times, it's ridiculous. Yeah, Julian is a mining town in the mountains outside of San Diego. It's about 45 minutes from where I live. It's a beautiful drive up to the east, up in the mountains. And that's where Palomar Observatory is near there. That is one of our great observatories for, looking at the solar system and planets and all that. But Julian is an awesome place. I've been into the Julian gold mine. You actually go into a mountain, walk through all of it, and you come out the other side. I've panned for gold up there. You can pan for gold in these things. And I've been to Julian a ton. Me and my wife love going up there. Ramona's, and I was just in Ramona on Sunday. Ramona's another mountain city just outside of Julian. Awesome. There's an old museum there. There's old historical houses there. There's a rock there, Jericho, where they have the evidence of double jacking. When they used to drill and do quarry and break quartz and all that, they did not have electric, gas-powered, pneumatic drills. What you had was 2 men, and if you and I were going to double jack Jericho, I would want to be the hammer guy. You could be the spike guy.
No, you're the receiver. I'm not the receiver.
He holds a giant. Well, hold on. He holds a giant spike with like a star on the front, like a star kind of front of it. And the other guy swings a giant 10-pound hammer. And when I hit it, you turn it a quarter. And I hit it and turn it, hit it. And this is how you would drill into stone. And there's a stone out in front of the Julian, the Grosskopf house is a historical house. I know so much about Julian. There's a stone out front of the Grosskopf house. It has a bunch of holes in it because one day they have like a big barbecue and a festival on a Sunday, the residents of Julian, and they had a double jacking contest. Some of the men that were miners. You know what I mean? And the city of Julian is named after the brother of the founder of the city. The brother's name was Julian. Anything else you want to know about Julian, just let me know. They're famous for Julian apple pies, which you can buy all over San Diego. And they have a big white box that says Julian apple pie, and they are delicious. Absolutely delicious.
Boy, you talk about trust. Because these guys, they're not swinging, they're not tapping. They're taking full swings with basically a sledgehammer. And the guy holding the spike, or whatever the thing is called that they're double jacking with.
I'm going to be very careful and look for an image of double jacking.
Man. Yeah, okay, careful. Don't put up the first thing that pops up.
No, I found
Google that.
Okay, so this is double jacking. Open image in new tab. This is double jacking. These are modern men doing it, but back in the pioneer days, it's like 1830, 1840. This is obviously from the 70s or something. One guy's holding the big iron spike and the other guy's hammering it. And every time it gets hit, the other guy turns it. You rotate, and that's how they would do that. That effing sucks.
Yeah. Just
because it's dangerous, you get your fingers clobbered, but it's also got to be tiring, dude. to just
swinging the hammer or holding
Yeah.
that spike. Yeah, man, it was all bad. I'm sure a lot of people's hands got smashed before people started getting good at this.
So there you go. So the key to double jacking is find a dude you trust.
Man, he just misses and just smashes.
Never
your
double
hand.
jack with some dude you just met.
Yeah, always double jack with a friend. Don't do random double jacking.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna run into all kinds of problems.
Yeah, you hold it. Also, dude, when I worked construction, right before I moved to Colorado in 1999, I worked construction, and I was building a form. A form is a wooden wall you'll build, and then you'll pour concrete in it to get the shape you want, and then you pull the wood off when the concrete hardens. And I was building a form, and I was talking to my boss, Carl. He walked by and asked me a question, and I had my hand on the form, and I swung the hammer as hard as I could. And I was good at hammering. I learned it right away. 99% of men don't know how to swing a hammer, by the way. You rock it. You don't clobber it. And I smashed my index finger on my left hand as hard as I could, the tip of it. And I looked, and it hurt so bad. I grabbed it. I looked at it, and it was all white. And then it immediately turned purple. And then blood just started gushing out from under the nail. Ooh.
That'll build character right there.
You just keep working. You bandage it up, and you keep working the rest of the day. That's just how it goes.
That's called a character builder right there, fellas.
All right. Double jack with your homies. Never triple jack, Captain Haruno. I knew a guy who lost an eye that way.
I know a guy who had really hairy palms who triple jack. So, and he was blind. Poor guy.
Oh, here he goes with the NFL slander. Spoken like a true Niner fan. Huh?
Even though the ratings, even though they had the first openly gay player.
Right.
But it's the 49ers. Right. Wink, wink there, buddy. No. I'm just here to play football. I'm not going to be looking at cocks and buttholes. I'm just here to play football. Sure.
I'm just here to play the game and then shower and get really clean afterwards. Yeah. Really take a thorough shower.
Yeah, even though 99% of you have dick root, I'm not going to be looking. Eyes down, head in the playbook. I'm not here to get stuff in my spank bacon.
Well, we all know one thing about male sexualities. We don't look at things we like. We don't tend to gaze at things we find attractive. We definitely never do that.
It's like, hey, buddy, the locker room's full, but we got a spot for you in the cheerleaders' locker room. And he goes in there and goes, hey, ladies, I'm not going to be looking at your titties or your asses or your fucking clam. I'm in here to change my clothes, shower up, and get to work. Don't you mind me, girls. Yeah, right.
Right. Diesel says, okay, but there's no denying San Francisco's gay. Diesel, I heard, and I don't know if this is true, that Atlanta is the gayest city in America. Yeah. I've never been to Atlanta, but that's what I heard. I don't know what that's based on, but I heard that like a year ago. No idea.
Yeah, that's where all the doo-doo chasers are, not San Francisco. And I think Austin, Texas had it before that. So you can aim your jokes elsewhere, partner.
Yeah.
Yeah, you tell him.
All right, so we go to the Wilshire Detention Zone. Now, guys, this is a moment that is near and dear. Now, Jericho, this is going to turn you to love this movie because
no, it's not.
On Double Impact, we studied the history, the deep, glorious history, the men and women that built this country. And they built it inside of spark and magma factories, steam factories,
I noticed that.
Metal factories, fire factories. Sometimes there's gust of wind factories. Other times it's
very rare, though. That's a dying art.
When Arnold was sent to jail to do hard time, they sent him to the Supermax magma, spark, steam, fire, more spark factory. They make everything in this factory.
He screwed up. If you go back to that bald guy, that's your average Raider fan right there. Just an emaciated turd. But yeah, he that's the maximum. That's as high as it gets when you have the steam, the molten metal, and the sparks. That's where you have the worst of the worst.
They have everything. They have steam, sparks, probably electricity, fire, magma. They have all of it.
And let's see, go one more. Then not only is that the steam factory, but you have the light coming from the back silhouette factory.
Right.
So there's a lot
silhouette
going on.
Factory. This is the shadow factory.
There's a lot going on in that complex. You got to be careful where you go. What time of day you go, who you look at, who you don't look at. You really got to be careful when you're in a place that has all of those action movie tropes. It's not for the faint of heart. And if you're not ready for it, don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
This is Arnold at the height of his powers with the forearm and the bicep and the deltoids.
Yeah. And this is a rare image here, a bearded Arnold, which I did not like. I didn't know.
That's how you knew he was doing hard time. He grew a beard.
But I didn't know what was that. Is that fake hair? Is that real? Or is that Arnold's hair? I don't even know. But hey, more power to him. Like I said, 1987. So he was 40 when this movie came out. So he still had the big guns, the big muscles and all that shit. So that's why people go to see Arnold. But that wasn't really the problem with this movie. The problem with this movie.
This mofo's carrying an I-beam, by the way.
And it has to be what, 500-600 pounds?
Oh, sure.
Maybe half a ton, even. That thing is so fucking heavy. But
I mean, if it's 10 or 12 feet long of solid steel.
Yeah, solid, like 2-inch thick steel. So not only is he carrying it with ease, but he's looking up. He's not even struggling. He's like, am I going to put this in? Like, he's not even fucking tripping. That's how strong he is. But the problem was not Arnold showing his muscles too much or anything like that. The problem was in the writing.
Writing is hilarious. I'm going to defend it. It's so dumb, it's hilarious. Stephen King was really on something on this. But what I want to point out in the prison here, that's not fashion. Oh, no, that's not high fashion this gentleman is wearing on his neck. Nor Arnie here. That is an explosive collar where if they leave a certain perimeter at the spark, smoke, fire, steam, magma factory, their head will blow up. That's what that is. So you got these goobers over here. They got some sort of satellite dish or radio transceiver and like a briefcase, laptop, and then gas masks for no apparent reason.
But I respect that look. That almost has like a Nazi
got a strong
look to it. Yeah, you got the gas mask, the helmet, so there's something wrong with the quality of air. Right. Dystopian future. Okay. But again, the props, the visuals, the costumes. Well, at some point, the costumes an issue. But it's the fucking writing. It's terrible. And that's the late Yaphet Kotto.
Love Yaphet Kotto.
Who, again, an 80s movie staple. There's another guy.
His first big movie that I know of, he was in many movies, was Alien. But I found Yaphet Kotto in 97 or 98 when I became addicted. Rest in peace, Andre Braugher. Rest in peace, Yaphet Kotto. I became addicted to NBC's Homicide: Life on the Street on Friday nights. I effing love that show, and he was the chief. He was the chief on that show. He was so good as the police chief on Homicide: Life on the Street. I haven't seen that show in 20-something years. I loved it, though.
Yeah, Yaphet Kotto, the guy I want that jock ass in here tomorrow morning from No Holds Barred. He's also into movies. So a lot of 80s staples, a lot of actors that were staples in 80s movies will be in this movie. And I think we have to do a separate double impact just to talk about Yaphet Kotto's hair. Because what the fuck is that? That was bad. That's a
He's got such a face. As an illustrator myself, what a great face that would be to draw. It has so much character. He's got the bug eyes. He's got the crazy nasolabial fold, that line from the corner of the nose to the mouth. But his eyes are so deep and heavy and soulful. Big old nose and giant teeth. Like, what a fun face that would be to draw. I know it's a very weird thing for me to say, but as an illustrator, you got to trust me. He's got one of those faces you would love to draw.
Yeah, you got a face I'd like to draw there, buddy.
Hey,
I like to draw your face.
Right.
Hey, let me draw your face.
So you find out when Arnold's been in the Hooskow, when he's been here in the work camp prison, he's made friends with the great Yaphet Kotto and Nerdy Nerdson. I don't know this guy's name, but he is a dork, as you could tell. He's the kind of guy, if a lady kissed him on the cheek, his bow tie would start spinning, and you'd hear that noise.
He reminded me of the guy with the glasses from Predator.
That's a little bit. Yeah. That guy with the glasses from Predator is Lethal Weapon writer-director Shane Black, by the way.
Yeah, he had some pretty good movies under his belt as well. Yeah,
absolutely.
Hey, I need to refill my water. Like I said, it's over 100.
Okay, I'll move the ball forward. So what we got here is these guys. They've been planning a little bit of an escape. Arnold, Yaphet, and Nerd Boy. They're gonna get out. He's gonna hack the collar thing because he's a nerd, and that'll come in handy later. His hacking skills, and they're gonna get out, but they cannot leave the perimeter. These green and red, like light-looking radar dish things. If you go beyond those, then the neckwear blows up and the head blows up. So they're struggling. They get some guns, They're going to get out. They're going to stage an escape for themselves. They're going to get out of this damn spark, steam, magma fire factory. And they're making their way. It's awesome. He's trying to hack it. It's that whole Hollywood thing where there's no time. And he's hacking and they're trying to get it down, but they're going to run out of time. And the bad guys get aware of what they're doing. And this one guy, he just makes a break for it. He just makes a break for it. He starts running and he gets about that far. He's running towards one of the soldiers that has the briefcase computer thing. Maybe he's going to try and fight that guy or destroy the computer that controls the but this gentleman, his head blows up. So it's not great for him. So it's not a good day. So yeah, he gets about that far and misses it by a nose, as they would say. And then finally the nerd guy gets the stuff deactivated, but just a couple seconds too late for this guy's taste. Not good at all. And let's see. And he lives, he lives happily ever after. He just, took a little off the top there. Let's see. Who doesn't love intro graphics in the intro while you're watching the movie? Absolutely. Love it. Gabe, tell Jericho it's only 70 degrees. Oh, we already talked about the weather. I told Jericho we're in a heat wave. Today was the crest. It's going to go back down the next few days. We got up to a scorching 81 degrees today. A scorching 81. Jericho told me it was 104 where he lives. So it's not racist, but it feels racist to me that my black friend had it so much worse than me with the heat today. It feels like the state of California's weather was being racist against him. The head detective, goodness. Yeah, so that's a bad day for that guy. The good thing is, though, I can't get any worse. So we cut to the sprawling metropolis of it's not Bakersfield, it's probably going to be like Los Angeles or something like that. And we're going to get introduced to the horrible, horrible game show of The Running Man. Diesel says 109 out there in Marietta. That's about an hour north of here, Marietta. It's an hour north, but inland. The interesting thing about California is imagine like a staircase. So you've got the ocean, then you go up the first little bit of hills, then you have the coastal area. Well, you have the people right on the water. You go up a few feet, then like coastal. That's where I live. So I live, 20 feet above sea level, whatever, not much. And then you go up again, and then you go to inland San Diego. And then the temperature difference, when it's like whatever it is at my house, it's 10 degrees hotter just a few miles, like 2-3 miles away because they're up higher. So as you get a little higher and you go inland, and it's like a staircase coming from the ocean, you know what I mean, in San Diego, in our region. It just goes up and up and up to eventually Palomar Mountain, which is only like 30 miles from here, something like that. It's like, I think 6,000 feet. Now it is a mountain, and that's where they put the space observatory, but still, it gets hot up there. So anyway, we go to the sprawling metropolis. I'm going to assume Los Angeles. Jericho may have turned on a giant air conditioner or something like that. Let's see. That's good. He'll do great out of prison. He has a good head on his shoulders. Well, he had a good head on his shoulders. Throw the chicken on the patio to cook it. Oh, that patio chicken. My grandma used to make. Let's see. Secretary not sure. He's 5 minutes from downtown Mexico. Oh, he's his fellow San Diegan. That's right. Secretary not sure lives here with me in America's finest city, Jericho.
He lives? He's your roommate? What do you mean?
He lives here. He's here right now. Let me bring him out. No, he lives here in San Diego. Don't be a fool. And he wanted me to remind you that it's only 70 degrees right now here.
Oh, how are you guys gonna make it?
He felt like you needed to know that.
With your little heat wave.
It got up to 81, and I was very upset about that today.
Yeah, it's hot here. I have sand on my clit.
I had to put a chocolate bar in the freezer to make
No.
Yeah.
Was it a little melty?
I didn't want it getting all over my fingers.
Gross. You said it was 81 degrees there. Is that correct?
That was the hot around lunchtime. The high.
That was the hot.
That was the hot. Me know English. Me speak English.
It will be 81 degrees at midnight here. So take that.
Well, there you go. I'll say wear loose cotton. That'll be my advice to you.
Hey, I say wear nothing.
Now, do you have ceiling fans or AC at your house or both?
Both. And they are both necessary.
Since I live by the ocean, this house does not have air conditioning. We don't need it.
Yeah, you don't fucking need it. When I lived on the coast,
I don't like air conditioning. I like fresh air. You know what I mean? I don't like having everything shut and then that air just recycling, and it feels gross to me.
When you have the ability to not need air conditioning, Gabe, yeah, that's great.
Hey, it got to 81. I would have used AC if I had it at 81.
If you don't have AC here, you aren't waking up in the morning. When I lived down on the coast, it would be, I would maybe 5 times a year, I would use my air conditioning.
Right.
It's just not necessary. Yeah. Didn't have AC in my house growing up. None of that shit. Never needed it. But
Kara, ducking the gunfire in Detroit, says it's 66 degrees there. So, you know, so there you go. White sky circle make me skin wet. Throws Unga Bunga rock at
it. Unga Bunga.
I had an argument with a comic book editor about the color of the sun. I was working on a comic book and I colored everything on this planet blue because there was a blue star next to it. And then he told me, no, just color it normal. We have a yellow sun and everything on Earth isn't yellow. And then I had to explain to him, our sun is not yellow, our sun is white. And I don't know how you don't know that. It's very strange to me. So little kids color the sun yellow, but it is not in fact yellow. It's a white star. This is general elementary school knowledge that the sun is white. Holy shit, dude.
But when you see pictures of it or something, it's always orange.
Well, here's the thing about that. The opponent process in the brain, since the sky with Rayleigh scattering is blue, then the sun will look yellowish. And as it sets, it's going to scatter more to the red side of the spectrum because it's going through more atmosphere. So more of the red is going to get scattered.
I understand that. But if you see like a animation of space and it's showing you like the size of the planets, and, you know, it's in motion, you'll see like the little flames coming off of the sun, and the sun always looks orange. Is that because that's what it looks like in space?
No, they colorize that for us. Like if you went into space and looked at the sun, it looks the same as it looks here on Earth. It would just be too white to look at. When they do that, they're using different, they might be looking at it through X-ray. They might be looking at it through infrared. They might be looking at it through a different spectrum so they could see the topography on the surface of all the bubbling and those giant things that come off, the prominences that come off. But then they computer color that orange. The sun is not orange. It's not yellow. It is white as white gets. So, because if it isn't white, we wouldn't have a full spectrum here on Earth, right? Think about when you're standing under a street light, those sodium lights that are orange. What happens to your blue shirt and all that? It all changes color because there isn't the full spectrum to reflect off. You need white light that contains all the colors of the visible spectrum so you can see all the regular colors when they get, when they bounce off the object. I am a professional colorist. This is deep knowledge for me. I do study this. So, but yes, the sun is not yellow. Editor at Comic Book Company who argued with me about that. Holy shit,
fucker. Man.
No, he was actually a nice guy. Just was kind of like,
no, fuck him.
Actually, the sun is explosion colored.
Actually, so like whatever color Kaboom is, that's what color the sun is.
Diesel's mad about the weather. He doesn't give a fuck what the color of the sun is. F the sun. That's not a very nice thing to say to the sun. Apologize to the sun, Diesel.
Nope.
You like when you make your kids apologize, Jericho, and when they're like, sorry.
When I make them apologize to each other. No, because I know they don't mean it, but I just make them say it anyway. Like, especially apologizing to each other.
Right.
Yeah, they don't mean that shit. And at the time, they're mad too. I still make them do it. Fuck it.
Give us a one-liner for this guy who lost his head. Someone in the chat, I think it was Captain Haruno, said he's got a good head on his shoulders. I said, well, at least things can't get any worse.
He's ahead of his time.
There you go. There you go.
He really is.
I'd ask him what's on his mind, but he'd probably say nothing.
It's everywhere.
There you go. There you go. The last thing to go through his mind were his teeth.
Was his fucking ass.
Anyway, so we go to, I assume it's Los Angeles. I'm just going to assume
it is. It says it right here in this scene, a little still frame that says Los Angeles.
And we go to what can only be described as The Price is Right for psychopaths.
Yeah, everybody in the studio, on the street, in a local bar. All the groups of people they show watching Running Man are fucking bloodthirsty maniacs.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So they show people watching it all over, and the studio audience is going crazy. And the point of The Running Man is if you get arrested for a bad enough crime, they launch you down these tubes in this bobsled, and you go into this wasteland, and you're hunted down by basically comic book characters. There's an electric guy named Dynamo that'll zap you to death. There's a big fat Harley riding guy with 2 chainsaws named Buzzsaw. There's a gentleman with 2 white streaks in his hair and a jetpack. What is his name? The fireball?
Flamethrower. Fireball.
Fireball. Oh, that is his name. Yeah, the names are not too creative, but that again, that's kind of comic booky, which is kind of fun.
Oh, don't forget Sub-Zero.
Right. Sub-Zero. He's a big fat hockey player who has a bladed hockey stick, and he doesn't freeze anyone to death though, which is weird.
And he's what's his name? Shit. What's the guy's name? He's a big Tanaka or something, big Japanese dude. He always plays a big thug or henchman in all the movies he's in. He was in what was it? Perfect Weapon with Jeff Speakman, but you could tell he was a little long in the tooth then. But he's kind of like an Odd Job looking guy from He feels like he would constantly be saying, "Oi!" Yeah, "Oi!" Like he had this big menacing Japanese dude. He was he? I don't think he was in Showdown in Little Tokyo, but if you saw him, you'd definitely recognize him.
All right. So Yaphet Kotto, Nerd Boy, and Arnold, they escaped to the underground rebel thing where they're trying to stop this game show from happening and overthrow.
Well, that's what Yaphet Kotto and Nerd Boy are doing. Arnold's like, fuck it, I'm out of here. He says, my brother is going to get me out of the city. He's like, fuck this, I'm gone. So he don't want shit to do with the revolution or saving the city or mankind or anything like that. He just wants to get the fuck out of here.
Right. So yeah, so they're kind of, I think that beard is fake. It's weird.
Can he not grow a beard?
I think he can, but to fill your beard in takes 3 to 4 weeks. And with shooting schedules, I don't know, maybe, of course, if you're going to have him with the beard, you wouldn't wait for him to grow it. You'd tell him to show up with the beard, film these scenes first, then shave it, then film the rest of the movie, right? I mean, that's what they would do. If they're going to shave your head or shave your face, you just film that shit first.
They couldn't give him like a 3-month heads up, like, hey, we're going to need you to grow a beard. Like, that's just another layer of shitty in this movie. Like, you put this fake ass bullshit beard it looks too coarse to be on his face. It looks like a different nationalities or different, I don't know, different person, someone with a different bloodlines, fucking beard. Like, it just, what the fuck? You guys couldn't have Arnold grow a beard?
I'm not a lumberjack.
I'm not a lumberjack and I don't have a tuba. Fucking Arnold. Ugh,
so yeah, God, so Yaphet Kotto and Nerd Boy, they're gonna take down the man. They're gonna take down the tyrannical authoritarian government with the other hippie nerds, and they're gonna take over the broadcast computer, kind of like in They Live, where they take over the transmitter that broadcasts all the illusions.
Whoa, what do you transmitter? You gotta be careful nowadays. What do you mean by transmitter?
I mean the radio signal machine.
Oh, not like, ma'am, it's ma'am, not that kind of.
No.
I just wanted to be clear. My bad.
No. But you're right. Arnold's like, I'm out of here. My brother got me a job. He'll get me out of the city.
Yeah. He got me a job at this gym.
Right.
And then look at it. Look at what the fuck Arnold Schwarzenegger. He escaped from prison. Inconspicuous is the word of the day. And this is what Arnold Schwarzenegger is wearing with the cigar. Like, he don't give a shit. Like, there's like everybody's smoking cigars. And this giant muscle-bound Austrian with a yellow fucking Curious George hat on. No one's gonna notice this guy.
What's up with Elvis Costello there on the right, Nerd Boy, and then Yaphet Kotto? He's got a little bit of that like Village People thing going on with that. I always call those hats like a pervert hat, like the leather.
He looks like he's been on the high seas. Like that's kind of like a dock working deckhand. Like what the ship. Fuck?
The ship captain from Raiders of the Lost Ark had the same hat, didn't he?
Exactly. So they're both Costello and fucking Captain from Raiders are both more inconspicuous than Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger with a blue Gold's Gym shirt and a fucking yellow hard hat.
Yellow suspenders and a yellow logo on the shirt. So he's color coordinated there.
Hey, nobody noticed me. I'm trying to get the fuck out of here.
Wow. Well, it is true that blue and yellow are opposite colors.
Wow.
So there you go.
Okay.
So yeah, we get this building, which is probably just some bank somewhere or something like that.
Mhm.
But it's the
But it's so 80s though. I love that.
what the hell? This
architecture.
is supposed to be 2017, and this looks like a Honda Civic from like 1988 or something, or a Toyota, Corolla from 88 or something.
But I love that architecture, and I love that stupid fucking car, whatever that's supposed to be.
Why couldn't they make a futuristic
like
2017
a Volkswagen,
car?
like a stretch limo Volkswagen?
What kind of car is it? I can't read what it says there. It's too blurry.
They probably don't want you to. There's probably some kind of fucking copyright infringement or something like, yeah, you can have this car, but you can't show our name because this movie's going to be a piece of shit.
So, and they I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but they give Arnold's villains a few times great names, or maybe he just sounds great saying Cohagen. And this guy's name is Killian. So it's Killian,
The main bad guy.
Yeah. So Killian is look, everyone's praising him, they love him, and he's the host with the most of the Running Man. He goes through the big atrium foyer, and here's Arnold on his way, like fucking Bob the Builder.
He's like Killian's kind of like a Wayne Newton type.
Right.
Entertainer, everybody loves him, hordes of fans. He's the host of like the #1 show in what's left of the world. Is
that your bug assault gun that shoots salt?
It is.
I wanted to order one of those.
You should.
You told me about it because I have chickens at my house, and sometimes we get flies in the summer when there's chicken poop and then the flies, and I don't like flies in my house. I went on Amazon to order the bug assault gun, which is not a firearm, YouTube. It is a toy that shoots salt. There's no gunpowder. There's no firing pin. It's not a gun. It literally is a toy that shoots salt. Amazon will not ship it to California, even though they sell them at the Ace Hardware right down the street from my house. Yeah. They're legal to own in California, but they're not. Amazon won't ship them here. It's so stupid.
That's so stupid. That's where I got mine. I went to Ace Hardware.
So
$45. And if this bee lands close to me, I'm gonna kill it. Don't kill bees, they make honey. Well, this fucker lands close to me, he's dead.
It's the bug assault. Okay, buying assault rifle. Yes, it's the bug assault. Yeah.
They even have ones. They have ones now that take CO2 cartridges and they have laser sights on them. That's a lot. But the standard bug assault gun is a lot of fucking fun.
You know how Arnold gives one-liners in this, like when he kills Fireball or whatever that guy's name is. He says, "Need a light," when he throws the what are those things called? The flare. He throws a flare. But there was a cockroach I saw in the street, and I stomped on it. I was with my wife. And a cockroach can survive anything, nuclear war, blah, blah, blah. I stomped on the cockroach. I turned to my wife and I go, I guess they can't survive anything. And then she started laughing. So I gave him a one-liner.
Yeah, one-liners are great. It's just that he had a lot of them, and they were not good.
So I missed one thing. I've only seen this movie twice. Once this afternoon and once like 4 years ago. And I love it. Why is he at this woman's apartment? I missed the line of dialogue that justifies it. His brother's going to get him out of town, blah, blah, blah. He's got his construction worker disguise or whatever. Why does he go to this woman's apartment?
Well, it's his brother's apartment. And because he's like, what are you doing here? She's like, I live here. And he's like, don't lie to me. It's my brother's apartment.
Okay.
He goes in there. He like shaves and showers and shit. And then he comes out, and this lady's Maria Conchita Alonso is like doing some jazzercise bullshit, like on a weight bench. And because he's been gone for 18 months. So as far as he knows, that's his brother's apartment. So
okay.
They don't tell you that, but
okay. Think about what you think about. It says Panty Raid. Yeah, dude, you're gonna see the painfully. Okay, for those of you youngsters out there, what you don't know about the 80s is that aerobics became a thing. Jane Fonda did all these video cassettes of workings, and then there was a Sweatin' to the Oldies with Richard Simmons.
Yeah.
And there was an outfit women would wear in the 80s. It was basically spandex, skin tight, but they would it was like modular. They would like wear like a bathing suit, but then they would have like tights underneath it. So their legs would be a different color than like their crotch and their butt. And then maybe the bra was a different color. And it was all to
leg warmers.
Yeah. It was to accentuate all the shapes. So you could see everything, but they were fully clothed from wrist to ankle. Mm-hmm. But you'll see that a similar thing like that to this in this movie. But it's funny that the movie's taking place in 2017, but it's fully embracing the 1985, 86 like aerobic thing that was spanning, sweeping the nation. So,
And
I remember in middle school, there was this hot lady on local San Diego public television, and she would do like whatever aerobics at 6 a.m. And for a while there, I was getting up early to watch that, you know.
Oh, yeah, I care about my health, Mom.
So there you go.
Yeah, you were loading that spank bank.
I was learning to exercise. How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you? So he's in this woman's apartment looking at her intimates. And then back here at the studio, and that's Jockass there, that actor.
Jockass. Right? I want that Jockass here in the morning. Right. Yeah, I can't remember his name, but that guy, you know that fucking guy. He always plays the either the kiss ass second in command to the bad guy or the bad guy himself, but he always plays a fucking asshole. I can't think of a movie where he's like a love interest or a dad or something like that. He's always the antagonist. He's always a fucking asshole of some kind. And he did it well.
All right, Jericho. And again, for you young people out there that don't know what was going on in the 80s, are you really going to tell me this was all about fitness? Hey, is that what I'm supposed to believe, that this was all about fitness?
Of course.
All about fitness, blah, blah, blah.
Let you get up early in the morning and your wife is in the living room doing that. How far through that workout is she going to get?
All the way.
Kids are spending the night at a friend's house or something. You walk in the living room. Your spouse is working out to one of those tapes. It's over. Right. We're going to burn some calories, just not the way you thought we were going to burn.
So yeah, we get a glimpse of the TV studio and Jockass here. He's a toady, a kiss up. We got Killian, the main bad guy, the host of the show. And then we cut
Richard Dawson.
Right. And he was Family Feud, right?
Yeah, I didn't know he had some acting chops. He did all right.
And then we get a commercial with Jesse the Body, the Brain Ventura. And he's a former hunter who would kill people on the Running Man show. He would kill the prisoners or the criminals. And he's now retired, and he's like Troy Aikman announcing football now. That's what he does now. He's like a commentator guy, you know.
That stuff will make a man out of you. Captain Freedom. Yeah, he was doing his thing. Again, Predator alumni. He was also in that.
Right. So smash cut back to Arnold's brother's apartment, but it's not. This woman, Alonzo, she lives there. She's on like a Bowflex doing sit-ups. And she was watching the news and seeing Jesse the Body, the Brain Ventura on there. And then Arnold comes up in his boxes and his wife beater.
It's just Jesse the Body Ventura.
Well, he's the brain too.
Bobby the Brain Heenan. No, he was just Jesse the Body Ventura.
Oh, I know that. I'm sorry. The Sklar brothers had a great episode of their podcast. This is like something I guess no one knows. Why would you know this? Randomly, I listened to an episode of their podcast like in 2011, and someone was doing an impersonation of him the whole time. And he got this really long name on the show. It was Jesse the Body, the Brain, the Governor. And so now that's like stuck in my head. So yes, you're right. There is no brain on it, but I add it because of this podcast that made me laugh so hard like 15 years ago. Sorry. I will get it right.
Pretty esoteric.
Right. I mean, who would know that random thing about the Sklar brothers, who I think are hilarious stand-up comics?
They are. Very funny.
They have this bit about a strip club DJ on their album Poppin' the Hood, the Sklar brothers, and it's so good. And they're just talking about like his job is to keep the customers horny and happy, but also tell them about the great drink specials. And just like, you know, Velvet is coming to the main stage, guys. And right now, 4 Bud Lights are just $87 for a bucket of beers. And if you have a blue Toyota Corolla license plate from Utah, your lights are on in the parking lot. It's like, dude, I'm not doing it justice, but the Sklar Brothers strip club DJ bit is so good.
Yeah, hilarious.
So good. I've seen them live like 2 times. They're really good. If you guys don't know, the Sklar Brothers are 2 twin brothers who do stand-up comedy together. And it's such a great act. They'll finish each other's sentences and riff back and forth, and it's really unique. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. So anyway, a strange man rolls up on this lady who's working out in his undies, and asks her what is she doing in his brother's apartment, even though
what are you doing here?
Even though it's her apartment. Ugh.
But he's not aware, because when he went away, that was his brother's apartment.
Right.
So they're both like, hey, what are you doing here?
Right. So then, it keeps cutting back and forth to the TV show, and the TVs, they're getting ready to go on the air, I guess, later tonight. They're picking out what they're going to do and this and that. It's all that pre-production stuff. And then Arnold. Now, why was this woman working out in like a lingerie, like a nightie?
She's home by herself. We've done stranger things than less. She was just at her home, fucking, in her lingerie.
I guess.
That was her athletic, slutty gear. So she threw on a negligee and said, you know what? Let me get a few rounds in. And then next thing she knows, this giant fucking Austrian in his underwear puts his hand over her mouth, and then he starts going through her shit. She's like, you're not going anywhere. You don't have a travel pass, but I know you do. And then he got it, and he's like, now I have one. Was that necessary? Where are we going to go? Somewhere tropical. I need to work on my tan. That's what he said. I need to work on my tan. Fucking come on. You're better than this. Maybe you're not.
His plan is to leave the mainland and go to Hawaii. Mm-hmm. What island is that one? Maui? I can't tell.
No idea.
I don't know. I don't know about I know there's Oahu, Kauai, Lanai, Molokai, Maui. I don't know the other one.
I've only been to Kona, so that's all I know.
All right.
Well, the big island, brother.
That's right. Well, there's 8 of them out there, and then Las Vegas is called the 9th island. That's a nickname for it. There are many, many Hawaiians in Las Vegas, and I don't know why. I don't know.
Food City.
She starts going through her shit out of context is why. I guess. So his plan is to go to Honolulu. He's off. He's going to Hawaii. So they get to the airport. This reminds me a little bit of Commando. When he's going to take the airplane and he's going to go down to, what was that place in Commando called, that fictitious, like Costa Verde or Valverde, or remember it was a fake like nation?
Yeah. I don't remember, but yeah, I know what you mean. But look at this. Can you be more conspicuous? A giant fucking roided up dude with a fucking stupid hat and sunglasses and that fucking shirt. Like, wouldn't you try to blend in a little bit more? Golly, hit up Yaphet Kotto for a wig or something.
He looks like his fake ID would say Panama Jack on it or something like that.
Don't make any sudden moves.
So Panama's your first name, sir?
Yeah. Panama Jack is what they call me.
I'm Panama Jack the Fourth. It's a family.
I'm Panamanian. Can't you hear?
He did shave. He shaved that fake ass beard.
Yeah, he shaved. He gave his hair a little trim. Even slicked it back with a little water, and then he put his hand over him. Fucking hell. The fuck are you doing here? Oh, and don't forget, before that, they get out of the scene where he's in her apartment, and he's like, "Oh, we're going to Hawaii." He picks it on the TV and shit, and then he goes over and he goes, she's like, "I have a travel pass, but you don't." He's like, "Don't worry, you're coming with me." And she's like, "How do you know that?" And with one hand, he picks up the bench that she's sitting on, and that's apparently attached to the floor, because he rips it out of the floor. Like, he rips out sections of the floor with the fucking bench. Yeah, he's like, because I was going to say please. And then cut to next scene. It's awful. Like, I think these two guys, David Michael, whatever the fuck his name was, and Stephen King and D'Souza, I think they were all this is like the kind of movie where they were all huge fans of Arnold. Right. Because maybe he was what they wanted to be. They're all a bunch of little weird, nerdy looking dudes, especially Stephen King. He's been shoved into a locker or two. So maybe they were huge fans of Arnold. They were like, yeah, man, whatever you want to do. No, hey, fuck, this script is just a suggestion.
No, I love the yellow hat. I think it's great.
Yeah, the cigar, go for it. And the Hawaiian shirt, the white
don't think it's too much. The yellow hat, the yellow shirt.
You don't think it's too crazy? The pants and the hat there. No, do it, man.
No, all right. Well, you're supposed to be hiding. It's supposed to be a disguise, but maybe the colors are so loud, then they would confuse someone looking.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, guys. I didn't even think about it. Let's make him conspicuous instead of inconspicuous.
It's kind of like hiding in plain sight.
Genius. Arnold, can you sign this for my son? It's just a little Terminator figurine. Yeah, what's his name? Bobby. I think
little Bobby's growing up.
You want my wife for 24 hours? Yeah. I'll screw here. Yeah. It's just fucking. This is the kind of movie. These guys are huge fans. They let him do whatever the fuck he wanted. It's evident. And here he's running on the tarmac. That his lumbering fucking 6'3",
right? Because she turns him into
muscular frame.
She alerts the authorities that he is bullshit.
Yeah, that he's taking her hostage. So he ends up running through the airport. Get him! He runs out. He goes onto the tarmac. Remember the good old days before 9/11 when you could run out on the tarmac if you wanted to?
Can we go back to that for just a minute? What a great thing going to the airport was. You would go all the way up to the gate and wait for your family member to get off the plane and meet them right there.
Yeah, like as they're deplaning, as they're coming down that tunnel.
Come off that bridge, whatever that gangway or whatever that thing is called. They come off that little bridge from the plane, and you're right there. It was such a wonderful way.
Right there. Not waiting.
And when they would leave, when they were done visiting, you would take them to the airport. You get there half hour early. You eat a little something. You say your tearful goodbyes, and you're right there. And you'll walk them once down the hallway, and you'll see him again next year or something.
Yep. You're sitting right there at the gate with them, waiting for the plane.
And now you're taking your shoes off like an asshole.
Yeah, and now you're pulling up like this. Oh, no, bye. Oh, text me when you get there. You gotta move. You gotta move. Oh my God.
Remember when I picked you up in Vegas and you were like in the wrong place, and I had to drive up a different level, and you had to walk back over here, and I could have just met you at the gate. You were fine. Remember,
park and come in.
I had to look for you, and then it was like, oh, you got off on the wrong thing, and it's like, oh, geez. It was better.
Used to be you could park and walk with them into the airport with help them with their luggage. Right. Was there security? I don't remember getting patted down or maybe go through a metal detector.
I'm sure there was security,
but nothing to remember.
Yeah,
and not the collection of fucking ding dongs we have now in the TSA.
Heather claims to have an idea that would improve the movie.
Yeah, anything.
Turning it off, but
yeah, anything would have improved that movie.
The autograph for Arnold. Make it out to eBay, please.
Yeah, dear eBay.
Right. So when you're chasing one man on foot who's apparently unarmed, you chase him in this military vehicle with a turret on top. Okay, I guess
you don't know what he's carrying.
Right. He could be packing. You never know. So then they shoot that big net, which you can see in the foreground of this photo, and they get him on the ground here, and they beat him up, they arrest him, and we get a lot of really good
Remember, imagine him on ADR day where he just goes into a booth and they're showing him the movie, and he's all right here, Arnold. Grunt and act like you're stuck in something.
Okay, Arnold, when we filmed this, an actual plane flew by and covered up your grunts, so we need you to record it again.
What's my motivation?
That bitch turned you into the authorities, and you got these white pants all dirty, and you're caught in the net by these wimpy dudes that you can beat them up in a fair fight. So that's your motivation. Let's go.
Yeah, I hate her. Okay, yeah.
Okay, now get down low. Now bring it up. Okay, now finish with the big one.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Perfect.
No, I just came in my pants.
Okay,
you said
I don't
need finish
to
with the big one, so I actually did.
Metaphorical. I just wanted a big grunt.
Well, tell me next time you tell me finish big. Of course.
Okay, big grunt and no bodily functions alongside.
My penis. All right, tell me when to start.
I feel like I was there.
Yeah, I was there. I'm still here. It's right there.
You're all over the place, buddy.
No, it's all over the place.
Oh my goodness. So he gets arrested.
Woo.
Check out the TV studio, and now
Julian's
gonna
And now we are treated to the delight of dialogue starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, 1987, Running Man. Holy shit. So the guy, Killian, he's basically telling him, look, because he saw the escape footage of him getting out of prison. So it's like, that's the guy when he saw him running, how big he was, the muscles. That's the guy I want for the next episode of Running Man. So they've captured Ben Richards. And so he tells him, look, I want you to be on the next episode of Running Man, or you see this, and they cut to a screen and it's a camera on Yaphet Kotto and Nerd Boy. And he says, if you don't do it, they're going to they're going to compete in your place, meaning, you know, they don't got what it takes. They're going to get fucking killed. So either you do it or they do it. Right. So he says, fuck you. And first he tells him to do it. And he says, fuck you. And he goes, oh yeah. Then he tells him, hey, if you're not, we're going to fuck your boys up. They're going to have to go in your place. They're going to die. And he says, what are the rules? Rules. And so he goes, yeah, that's like kind of like, that's what I thought. You know, I thought you'd see it my way. So then here they're preparing him for Running Man. They're injecting him with shit. They put like a rubber mouthpiece in his mouth because they're like shocking him and shit.
Yeah, they do all kinds of weird stuff to him. And it's
like they're preparing him for it. They stuck a needle, like an IV, in his groin. Was that necessary? You couldn't find a vein on Arnold Schwarzenegger's arms, but let's put it like inches away from his dick, from his schwanz.
I don't know.
That was Arnold. They always put in the arm. It's so easy. Why did you put it right?
Yeah, it's not like his rippling muscles don't have giant veins bulging.
Giant, a junkie's dream. And he's like, no, put it near my dick down there. They're like, yeah, so, Arnold, that's great. We were thinking in the arm, but the penis?
Even though this movie takes place like 30 years after it was actually released, they don't care that it's 2017. They know it's 1987 because they got the workout aerobic stuff. They got the Honda Civic or whatever the hell that was. But this lady, one of her things that was huge in the early 80s, maybe late 70s and through the 80s were synthesizers. Mm-hmm. You know, that whole sound of like the Stranger Things soundtrack, guys, all you youngsters, that's a synthesizer. They still use them today. But in the 80s, there was just this certain sound that the synthesizer had. And this lady's talking about her synthesizer, and it looks like she's right there looking at music or writing music or something like that. So they're just fully embracing 80s culture, even though the movie takes place 30 years later.
30 years after. Right. Speaking of sound, Harry Faultmeyer?
Don't know.
Harry Faultmeyer. He did Beverly Hills Cop. Okay. He did a score for this movie. He did a score for a bunch of movies. And there's some Beverly Hills Cop 2, which also came out in 1987. There's some Beverly Hills Cop 2, like keyboard sounds and synthesizers in there. Like it reminded me of the scene where they find the fucking weapons and shit in the back of those trucks when all the bad guys are having a meeting. Right. Like that kind of creeping around kind of music. You can hear it in here. And if you're a fan of those types of movies, it's going to have a familiar sound. You're like, what the fuck have I heard that before?
There's a really fun Instagram account that I follow. His name is DreamKid83, and I'll look him up real quick. And all he does is like do 80s style music. Mm-hmm. But I think he's pretty young, you know, DreamKid83. But I just happened to find him on Instagram. But it was like, let's make this Nirvana song sound 80s, and let's make this. Yeah. And I think
it's funny too.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. And it's not really played for humor.
No, he's actually really talented.
Have you seen him though?
Yeah.
Oh, have I sent you this, or do you follow him, or?
I think I've seen it like, you know, on my feed, or maybe you sent it to me, something like that. But there's a real talent there.
Could you hear any of that?
Barely.
Oh shit. Well, I think it's pretty awesome stuff. But it's got that aesthetic to it. You know what I mean? It's got that whole thing. Let me see. I'll fix this for you. I want you to hear some of this. Give me 1 second. Present. Stop screen. Present. Share screen. Oh fuck. Hold on.
There's also one that I heard on Instagram, and this may be the same person, but it's just music they made up, but it's like, what does this make it? What does this remind you of? And people in the comments, you know, detective who just got yelled at by his captain and shit, you know.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Can you hear it? Yeah. But he's really talented. He plays guitar, plays all the synth stuff, the synth drums, the piano. Like, I think it's really cool. DreamKid83 should give him a follow on Instagram. I think it's pretty awesome. So, did I send you a clip from that dude? I may have. Send out my Instagram reels to my friends to make them laugh. Hopefully, I don't send too many. Sometimes some people send me too many. Then I go, shit, am I sending people too many? They go,
Yeah,
nah, I'm a genius, actually. I would never do that. So anyways, this movie is fully embracing the 80s, and I love it. She's got a synthesizer because it's 1987.
Yeah, they forgot that it takes place in the future. The people that made this. So
while she's at the piano, tickling the ivories, as they say, she's also watching on the news, and they're showing the arrest of Arnold. They're showing his arrest and talking about, and I think he's going to be on the game show. I think they also mentioned that on there too. So then we get into that. Remember the 80s aerobic workout stuff I told you guys about? It's an extended sequence of these women really getting after it in these 80s workout kind of outfits. And they are the opening act for the murderous Running Man game show. You know, oh my God, you get funny. Now, why is she, Jericho? I missed this plot point too. This is the only other one I missed. Why is she here to steal the data tapes? Why is she in this place that has them? Does she work there? Does she want to look into it? I did not catch why she was there.
I want to say she does work there because that lady is like talking to her about like what she just went through, like on some kind of personal level, like they know each other. So it could be that she works there and then she wants to steal the footage of that that massacre, air quotes, to see what really happened.
Because that's how they're framing it, so they can get Arnold on their Running Man show. They're saying he's the butcher of Bakersfield. He killed all those people that just wanted
1,500 people.
He killed all those women and children in Bakersfield. That's why he went to the steam factory prison. He tried to break out. He tried to go to Honolulu, and now we're going to put him on the Running Man and kill him. And they altered the footage digitally. You know, like nowadays with deep fake and AI, whatever in this movie, they altered it all, but nobody knows that except, you know, Arnold knows he didn't do it, and this woman supposes he didn't. So she's going to get the footage. She's going to get the info. So she must work at the TV station or something like that. I didn't catch why she was there, but that's what she's doing here. But it's funny. The security brings Arnold by because they're getting him ready to go on the air and participate in the show. And, you know, more dancers. But, I missed it. There's a shot. I don't have it. These two women, they're staring at Arnold as he goes through the door. And the blonde woman tells her, can you believe he murdered all those people and just how he manhandled them, blah, blah, blah. And she's like talking like she's getting all hot and bothered about what a killer he is.
Yeah, and she says like, he could have.
Well, imagine what he could do to you.
Yeah, he could have raped you and then killed you, or he could have killed you then raped you.
Oh, that's right.
And raped you like girl,
but she doesn't sound disturbed. She sounds all weird.
No, she's like all turned on and shit. Like, oh,
yeah, it's like a 50 Shades of Grey kind of thing. It's very disturbing.
Yeah, she's a freak.
Yeah, so
she's a damn freak for sure.
So yes, we get the Jane Fonda jazzercisers. And here he comes, Killian himself. He's coming out to all the fanfare. The crowd loves him. The girls love him.
Fucker.
And
and right when he gets out of the car, when they have that horrific looking limo, he's walking in, and there's this old guy mopping the floor, and he actually bumps into him. He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Killian," and he goes, or Gillian. Which one is it?
I think it's Killian. Now you got me questioning.
Yeah. Well, anyway. He says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." He's like, "No, don't worry about it. Hey," he's like, "Accidents happen. Get back to work." "Oh, thank you, sir." And he gets an elevator, and he's like, "If that guy's here by the end of the day, you're getting fired." So he like fires us over just to show you, you know, how much of a shitty person that he is, because he is the main bad guy.
He's a prick and an egomaniac. So the crowd, they want blood. They're screaming, they're booing, they're cheering. And he welcomes them to the Running Man. And then the way the Running Man kind of works, I guess, is they pick people randomly out of the crowd, like Price is Right, and you pick the killer. You pick Buzzsaw or Sub-Zero, whatever, to hunt down the people. And I guess if your guy that you pick can kill the prisoners, then you win prizes and, you know, vacation or whatever like that. Mm-hmm. So it's very grotesque.
And the classic guy outside, 100 people, "Hey, give me this," and they're handing him a piece of paper, and he's taking money, handing them money, grabbing pieces of paper, and another guy's behind him writing shit on a chalkboard. So that trope is in here as well.
Yeah, they got the awesome gambling that we love. So this movie, see, Jericho, you don't like this movie, but this movie's hitting all the double impact tropes. We've got the steam, spark, fire, electricity factory. We've got the gambling that no one organizes. They just wave bills of paper in the air. And
a lot of screaming.
We got a lot of Arnold one-liners. We got a lot of, we've got everything Impact is about.
But that's not it. We got everything and then a bunch of shit that we didn't want.
Right.
That's like somebody bringing you your favorite meal and then fucking just dumping like fucking ice cream all over it. Like, yeah, I like both of those things, but there's too much going on.
So then they show the crowd the doctored footage of the helicopter, the the CGI readout of Bakersfield massacre, and they're
1,500. It could have been 15,
right?
But they made it 1,500 people. That is fucking crazy.
Look at this guy here. No way, dude. The blonde guy in the green shirt.
That's my go-to.
Dude, that is bogus. He killed all those women and children, dude.
Dude, bummer, dude. Bummer.
And then what is this about? They're marching Arnold on stage.
Those are the dancers. They're giving
this lady's just like, hey, check this out, Arnold.
You win and you're in, buddy. That's what she told us. Win and you're in. So he has to go survive the running men, and they put on stupid fucking suits.
They're like, we heard Arnie. You like yellow. We heard you like yellow outfits.
Yeah. So this is what we imagine when we're jerking off to you every night, that you're wearing this suit. Yeah, I like it. Good.
I do like the stage because it just has the right kind of corniness. It's got like weird skyscrapers in the background. It's got that big turbo tunnel in the middle.
It's like a Japanese game show where it's just fucking so theatrical and over the top and just so much crazier than the game shows and shit that we have here. But yeah, they spent a lot on production on this bad boy.
And they load Arnold into this bobsled, and I'll play this one more time. Hold on. He loads him in there. You know, he's going to go down there. He's going to get killed. And then this comes up.
Get set. Kill him. I'll be back. Only in a rerun.
Can you, even if it's your movie, can you double dip on a saying like that? And it's different when he says it fucking 40 years later in Expendables 29. But to say it 3 years after you said it in one movie,
I don't know.
That's what I mean. Like, you want to use it again, Arnold? Yeah, whatever, man. It's your movie. Why would you say that? We know that you especially can't say that and not think that people are going to be like, why is he repeating the line from Terminator?
Well, because he's going to be back.
But anybody who ever says that after Terminator came out, everybody knows you got it from Terminator.
I'll be back. It's a very normal phrase in the American lexicon. We say it all the time. Oh, I'll be back. I'll be back. Can you imagine being Arnold Schwarzenegger? All that comes with it. But you're just talking to your wife or whatever, like, oh, I'm headed to the grocery store. I'm going to get that cottage cheese. I'll be back. Like, whenever he says, I'll be back, does it kind of like,
Dad, where are you going? I'll be back.
Right?
Why'd you say that, Dad? Fuck you.
It's got to be kind of weird for him to just try and use it normally and not trying to be funny, you know?
It probably feels like when you say your own name, but you're talking about somebody else. Or like if you know somebody else with your name and you call their name.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It feels because it's your name.
Especially when you have a name like my name's pretty rare, Gabriel, right? That's not a common name anymore. So when I meet another Gabriel, it's like, when I meet a white Gabriel, because there are Mexican ones, you know, in my experience. When I meet a white Gabriel, I'm like, wow, that is rare.
We got to take a picture, man.
Yeah.
Well, there's definitely not a lot of Jerichos in the world.
No. I shall return in a little while.
I shall return in a little while, sir. But they could have said anything. I'm gonna get you. Wait, he could have even could have told him, wait right there. You know, something, a million different things.
But it's kind of that Marvel Cinematic Universe Avengers humor where it's like they say the line and you elbow your buddy in the feet and you look at him like, I hate the jokes and I hate the Marvel movies.
But he double dipped though.
But that's what I'm saying.
Do that.
This is so corny. Like he says, I'll be back, and then you look at your friend like, you know, he said the line.
Oh,
I don't know.
Why?
So they flush him down the toilet to go to the wasteland where he's going to be chased by the killers.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, she's going through floppy disks in 2017, finding news footage,
That's
or military footage.
Yeah, the camera footage of the massacre he did not commit.
And poor Goober, he's getting sent down there too. And Yaphet's all the way on the left too.
And those tubes go at like 1,000 miles an hour, 600
I think
miles an hour.
I think the correct number is gorbillion.
Yeah, because they're like flying. It's like this tube's fucking pressurized.
Look at the space there.
Yeah, it's going crazy fast. To Running Man.
Right. So if you look right behind her fingers there, it says Bakersfield Massacre, edited for television. And then she pulls out that other disc, Ben Richards, identity number, blah, 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 blah. So she gets the information on how he is innocent. He is not the butcher of Bakersfield, as they claim, and they're just using him for this horrible television show.
And that's the Terminator font too.
Right.
That's the same font, when the shit was getting typed across the screen or whatever. It's that same font. Man, they just copy and pasted shit from Terminator.
So they bring out this grandma, and she picks Sub-Zero to be her killer, to hunt down these awful, awful criminals. And he's a Asian man of size.
He's a big motherfucker.
And he's going to fuck people up with his giant razor-bladed hockey stick. He comes out to some fanfare, a little dance
a stainless steel cod piece for some reason.
Right. Don't get any ideas,
Hey, he's wearing it.
Yeah. So yeah, after they go down the big tube, they shoot out, and there's this billboard right there, and it says like Cadre Cola. That's like a Coca-Cola, and it's weird number 1. You know what I mean? And it has Julian on the poster, which when you have a movie budget, which I'm supposing is a couple $1 million, that is a horrible billboard.
$27 million budget.
I am a graphic designer and an illustrator. I'm an artist, and I can design things pretty damn well. That is unacceptable, that billboard. That does not say soda to me. Where's the can of soda? It just says cola.
With the water droplets on it. Some girl at the beach taking a drink and her equally good-looking boyfriend.
Why wouldn't you have a zoomed-in photo of Julian like holding up a soda, smiling? Like he should be holding up the can. It's horrible.
Or even have a couple girls around him. They're drinking the soda.
Right. Everyone's just, slamming the soda at the beach. So anyway, they come out the bobsled.
Yeah, that does not say delicious, refreshing beverage.
No, it doesn't. I don't get it at all. They come out the bobsled tube, Yaphet Kotto, Nerd Boy, and Arnold. And then like some extras from Mad Max, like don't kill them or beat them up. They just kind of haze them.
Yeah. Hey, welcome. We're the welcoming party.
Yeah, we're the wild boys. And we just drive in circles around here.
We're going to make you uncomfortable. Stupid.
These guys feel like they're an annex chapter of the same gang from Bulletproof Monk that lives underground.
Yeah. Hey, you're going to start paying me 20%. My name's Mr. Fantastic. What the Mr. Fantastic? 2 things. Who wrote that and then who approved that?
The more time that goes by, the more I'm convinced that movie is as bad as you say. Because I thought that movie was just like nothing. It was like, it's dumb, but who cares? It's horrible, Bulletproof Monk. It's beyond horrible.
Just awful, 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 awful. There's no other word for it. It's awful.
Let's see. Captain Haruno says, fun fact. They originally wanted to have the villain of this film be the Predator, but decided against it since they felt it was a bit too on the nose. The more you know. I have no idea what that's about.
Well, they want to have like that monster be one of the
They wanted this guy, the game shows, to be the Predator?
I think they want the Predator to be the bad guy in this, or the final
I don't know.
Fight or whatever.
I don't know.
I don't think that would have saved this movie, because it wasn't just one thing. It wasn't like, man, this was a decent movie except one thing. No.
Right.
A laundry list of just war.
So the studio audience is there. They want blood. Jesse the Body Ventura. His name is the American Dream, right? That was his character.
No, Captain Freedom.
Oh, Captain Freedom. That's right. What a terrible name.
Yep.
Captain
and everybody
Freedom.
is so bloodthirsty. The old ladies, old men, kids, everybody just like, kill him, fucking kill. It's crazy. So I guess that's trying to tell you that everybody is just like so fucked up in the head, post-apocalyptic, whatever the fuck. And also because this is the only network, because it's run by the government. And then throughout the movie, they're showing commercials for these other shows like Climb for Dollars, all that kind of shit. And the government's everything. So this is the only entertainment in town. So everybody is cult-like with this movie or this TV show.
Right, and we get one of our Double Impact favorites, staples, as the unorganized gambling, where a crowd of people, always standing below, by the way, the guys running the scam, wave dollars in the air and scream. And you're telling me at the end of the night, these two jamokes here are going to keep track and fairly pay out all of these drunk and mentally challenged people who gave them money. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen.
Memory like an elephant.
It's never going to happen.
They got it, man. Look, they must be trusted. Look at all the people there. Throwing up fucking money. These guys are good.
So the running men, Yaphet Kotto, Nerd Boy, and Arnold.
The running fellows.
They have to make their way through the wasteland, but here comes an Asian man playing a Canadian sport.
Sub-Zero. Yeah, he's doing his thing. So he gets you with his bladed hockey stick, and this scene is intercut with that and Killian in the audience handing out gifts, the Running Man board game and cameras and VCRs and shit to all of these fans. He's picking out random people out of the audience. This is really bad. So Sub-Zero is trying to kill all these guys. He cuts them and shit. He's chasing them, trying to take their heads off. Some of them get some minor wounds. But Arnold, he skates by this wall, and there's like a thing hanging there, and the razor wire is attached to it. So he grabs it, and as he's skating along, the razor wire is becoming unattached to the fence. So this piece is getting longer and longer. He turns around, whips it around fucking Sub-Zero. Some wraps around his arm and shit, and some wraps around his neck. And so, of course, Arnold pulls on the razor wire, and it cuts Sub-Zero's throat. And then we are treated to probably the worst one-liner ever.
Here is Sub-Zero. Now, Plane Zero.
It's cinematic history, Jericho.
Yeah, that's it. That movie with Jack Nicholson, as good as it gets, this is as bad as it gets. Killian! This is Sub-Zero. Now, just Plane Zero.
I don't even get the line. What is a Plane Zero? I mean, I know what it is, but how is that funny, though?
There's a different way they could have done it. He could have said Sub-Zero he could have just called him Plane Zero.
I don't know. And literally anything would have been better.
I mean, if they were hell bent on getting this Plane Zero line in there, then they could have done it differently. But that now Plane Zero, like that's just too.
I feel like they let Arnold just ad-lib whatever he wanted.
Exactly, they were fanboys. I've been watching you since I was a kid. I used to jerk off to your magazines. And now I'm working with you.
And English is a second language for Arnie, so maybe Plane Zero is really funny in Austrian or something.
Yeah, but this wasn't an Austrian release.
But in his Austrian mind, it was funny,
But why cater to that teeny tiny little fucking audience, the Austrian fans?
I don't know.
Fuck them.
Sub-Zero. Now dead guy on the floor.
On the floor.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's much better. Jeez, man.
420 is needed to interpret the Plane Zero. Possibly.
No. Plane Zero. Who's all excited to say it?
I got a question. Let's bring Arnold in. Arnold's hanging out at Jericho's house, actually. He didn't want to come on camera because he was eating right now, but I wanted to bring him on and ask him a question. Arnold, how you doing, bud?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Are you enjoying my movie?
Yeah, we're really, really enjoying trying to figure out what the hell this is about. So is it true, Jericho's theory, I agree with Jericho, that you ad-libbed a lot of the lines in this?
Yeah. So what happened, I show up to the set of the movie, Stephen King, he called me, and of course, all of the movies that he's done, It, and all the type of books and everything. I was like, yeah, I'll be there. So I show up there, I go into the trailer, Stephen King, the Sousa, the director, they're all there. They blow me. And then after they say, Arnie, we don't have a script. We just kind of show with the cameras and you do everything that you did you want to do? The one-liners and the stupid costumes and all that stuff there. That was on me, and the cigar and the yellow hat and all
now,
that.
why yellow? I've heard that that's one of your favorite colors. Why yellow, though? Why the yellow outfit, the yellow hat, the yellow World Gym shirt? Why yellow?
Well, it makes my deltoids and my penis look more developed and more big and ripped there.
Oh, the yellow does that, huh?
Yeah.
Yellow makes your definition pop.
Yeah, but really mostly my deltoids and like the head of my penis to call it the helmet there.
Oh, okay. And that was important to you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was wondering about the yellow. It didn't seem like an action hero, like stealthy action pack. I was thinking more, military, gray, green, blue, those kind of colors.
But remember, they say I can do whatever I like to do.
Okay.
There's no like script or nothing like we want you to say this. You're coming into the room. I was just kind of like I do whatever you're.
Okay. What do you think they could remake this movie today?
Of course. It would be like, but somebody would have to be a transgender or something like that. The two guys are going to be kissing or something like that there.
So if there were two guys that were after you, they were like boyfriends and you killed them, what would your one-liner for them be?
Let me see. I kill both of them and I say, now you're both bottoms. Because, I killed them. I fucked them, right there.
Okay. What a way to go, huh? I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Okay, well, we're going to finish this piece of crap, but you're welcome to come back. We'll talk to you later. Arnold Schwarzenegger, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
The great Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Good guy, man. Yeah, I like to sit down and just hear him tell some stories.
Right.
He has some fucked up shit to
smoking
talk
stogies. I don't drink, but I'd put a whiskey in front of me and let him drink, I guess.
Well, I'd swirl it around occasionally. Give the appearance of drinking it,
yeah. So in complete dystopian fashion, Sub-Zero, who's now Plane Zero, he dies.
Make that clear.
And this psychopath host is like, oh, folks, he's like trying to act sentimental, but you can just tell he doesn't care at all. And then they go to commercial and they show some happy picture of now Plane Zero, smiling away.
And everybody fell silent.
Right.
Like dead silent. Like my dad would say, you could hear a rat piss on cotton.
Right.
Like, you could hear a pin drop in the studio, out on the street, because there's thousands of people crowded around these TV screens, at the sports bar and all this kind of shit. Everybody's just dead silent when Sub-Zero dies.
They should play that Sarah McLachlan music,
Oh, in the arms of an angel.
That one, yeah. In the arms of... Or that I will remember you. I will remember you.
Hey, Sarah McLachlan, she had her time and place in music history. The piano, the ballads.
Pass you by.
And her voice, she had a very unique, almost like Pearl Jam kind of.
I feel like angry college feminists really like her music.
Yeah, she has her place in music history.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, if you like female armpit hair, go to a Sarah McLachlan concert.
Well, I think she might also have a piece of TV history as well, because in the arms of an angel and that fucking, abused animal fucking commercial, when you hear that, that's what you think. If somebody makes a joke using that, what they're saying.
You got that little dog that's all like shaking and stuff,
Yeah, you can see his ribs and hip bones and shit. And then by the end of the commercial, he's with a new family. He's put on some weight. He's happy.
Yeah.
But what people mean when they bring up that song. And what
I want to meet the person that gives like $100 a month to the ASPCA, but doesn't give anything to like homeless people.
But they have at least 12 cats, 14 dogs. There's a lot of meowing all night long. I will
remember you.
Hair everywhere. Hairs on everything.
Will you remember me?
Yeah, man.
Dog's just trembling.
Yeah, and all wet and shit outside in the mud. Like, who the fuck did this? Who let this dog waste away to 20 pounds? Why does this Rottweiler weigh 22 pounds? You need to be fucking punished.
So,
thank you, Sarah.
Pour one out for Sub-Zero.
Yeah, he's no longer, he's Plane Zero.
He's fat.
Get it?
Heather doesn't trust anyone that doesn't like animals. I
who said
love
I
animals.
like animals?
I don't like when people like animals better than people. That's a red flag to me. That is bizarre.
Hey, if you say if you're a dog mom or a cat mom, we can't.
Right. Dog mom, no. No such thing. Sorry.
There's no comparison to the two.
It is. I'm not going to clutch my pearls. I already did that earlier today. But it's very insulting to real parents when dog parents claim to be parents. Holy shit, dude.
You have no idea. I've had somebody tell me, yeah, having a 4-year-old is like having a dog. They're the same mentally.
It's disgusting.
Like having a puppy versus a 4-year-old. They're the same mentally. No, you're the same as a puppy mentally, because that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard of.
Where do you come down on cats? Because I do hate cats. Love dogs. Don't like cats.
I don't hate cats. I think cats are cool as long as they're outside. I think they're better. They're the best equipped to be outside.
What about a man that owns a cat, though? You know what I mean? That's weird to me. It doesn't make sense.
Show me on the doll where the bad stuff happened.
I don't know. I don't like a man owning a cat. It's bizarre. It's like a woman driving a truck. I don't like that.
And if you take
that looks.
If you take that cat out in public with you and it sits on your shoulders, get the fuck away from it.
It's like a man owning a cat or a woman chugging a beer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't get your peanut butter my chocolate.
I don't like that.
I don't want that shit.
I don't like
you stay on your side, I'll stay on mine. You do
your thing.
Very
weird behavior.
I'll do mine. But that's how it is now. They can do everything we can do.
Right.
They're just as strong, they're just as intelligent. Sure. All of those things are just like
literally no difference.
None.
Literally no difference. It's funny. The people that say there's no difference between men and women, then they also say they hate men and the men are awful. It's like, but if men and women are the same and men are awful, then aren't women just awful too?
Yeah. And why don't you guys just do all the shit that we do if we're so incompetent?
There's no difference. We're exactly
the same. You don't need us. They really literally say we don't need men. Okay. Then you do all this shit. I want to see you take that oil rig when it comes up out of the earth with enough force to fucking break your jaw. I want to see you grab it and unlatch it and fucking swing it over there and then grab another one when it comes up 60 seconds later and do this shit for 12 hours. And fucking you probably have a supervisor with one arm because he took his eyes off of that thing one time and fucking got his arm ripped off. Like, get the fuck out of here. They're not driving no stinky ass garbage truck. They're not policing anything. You're not gonna fucking march on no border. You're not, and we don't want you to.
It's the bottom of the coal mine, 3 miles under the crust of the earth.
Yeah, you're not gonna be welding the fucking support beam for a fucking oil rig in the ocean during.
They're gonna put the red airplane warning light on top of the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, the tallest building in the world.
Once a year.
I don't think a woman put that light up there. I just have a hunch a woman didn't do that.
They pay you $50,000 a year to go up there one time and change that light out once a year, or walk up and down the Golden Gate Bridge and inspect all the lights and shit up there and the screws and beams and all that shit. Climb up to the top of that 350-foot fucking. I don't care who you are. Your legs get that weird feeling in them when you climb up there. Oh, come on!
I'm not afraid of heights at all. I'm not afraid of airplanes. I don't think I'd want to crawl on top of the Golden Gate Bridge, though. No, thanks.
No, or climb, be one of these steel workers in New York, walking 100 stories off the ground and shit, sitting there eating your lunch.
Right.
Fucking looking down on Fifth Avenue. No, thanks. But ladies, I don't see you up there with your yoga mats.
No, equality for feminists means they get cushy, overpaid office jobs, mostly HR, so they can be tattletales who fire people for just making a joke or whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, that wasn't funny.
Yeah, the indoor feminists. There's no outdoor feminists.
Right.
There's no lady in Australia going out to the one fucking water pump out in the outback to fucking change a filter.
Right.
And walk fucking, and it can only be reached on foot.
There's no lady doing undersea welding on an oil rig.
No, with the waves crashing. I've seen that before.
I've seen that video. It's insane.
The waves crashing, and this dude's underwater in the middle of the fucking Bering Sea somewhere, welding shit. The waves pushing him up against it. Man, if you don't get that.
I'll say this: Captain Haruno says he sees a lot of farm girls with big trucks here. They look good, actually attractive. Surprising, really. I went to the rodeo here in San Diego. There's a community Poway. There's Ramona, Poway, Santee. We call it Santucky. It's pretty country. You know, it's very rural. And it's literally less than 10 miles from San Diego. It's just, I mean, when you go east, San Diego is a very narrow place, like Chile. You know, the country of Chile, the shoestring republic goes all the way up South America. San Diego's very narrow. It goes up the coast and it does not go inland much. But when you go to the inland communities, it turns desert and hilly right away. But those places are very rural. I went to the rodeo in Poway, and the conservative women are so different from the liberal women. So much prettier. They're in shape. They were feminine. They had very long hair, but they were raised with real masculinity in their life. You know what I mean? They knew how to ride horses and all this stuff, yet they were totally feminine. They were totally ladies. It was a breath of fresh air. It was nice. So I know what you're saying here, Captain Haruno. I know what you're saying. But one thing that struck me about those country girls, they had such long, beautiful hair. I was like, oh, yeah, a lot of the city gals, they cut their hair.
It's not short and purple, spiky. Right. I like that. But what about, I don't know. Chat, let me know what you think. But seeing a guy riding in a truck and a woman's driving.
Oh, he better have a broken leg.
I don't know, man.
Or just any car. I don't think my wife has driven the car with me in it in years.
No, my wife's driven my truck sometimes, but
my wife's never driven my truck. I don't think she's ever started it. Literally. I don't think she's ever started it. Never driven.
My wife's used my truck a few times. But no, if we're driving together, I'm driving, whether it's my car or hers. Yeah.
What are you going to do? Just be in the passenger seat and your wife's driving you around? Where are we going, mommy? I mean, honey?
You mean the passenger princess? Make a left. No, here. At the last minute.
One thing about being a husband, though, driving your wife around, is she does save your life by warning you about the brake lights about a mile up on the freeway by going and grabbing your arm. And I have to my son doesn't do it. My wife and my daughter do it. They go, oh, and then here's what I explain. And ladies, you're just going to agree with me. You're going to behave from now on. All ladies, you can hear the sound of my voice. You're going to stop doing that.
Right now.
Here's why. It's a serious issue. It is funny, but it's also serious. When I am driving, I see the cars in front of me. I see that ambulance. I hear it. I see the taillights starting to flash. I know to slow down. And when you go, my very logical male brain says, well, there's no way she thinks I don't see the brake lights. So there must be something else I don't see. So let me turn my eyes away from the important thing in front of me and look for whatever this mysterious danger that I must not have noticed. And lo and behold, there's fucking nothing. And she was just screaming about what's in front of us. And now I've taken my eyes off of it because of her. I tell her that's dangerous. I need to look at the road. Quit making that sound. To my wife's credit, she's cut it down to a minimum. It still happens, but almost never. So knock it off, ladies. Knock that shit off.
Not only have you taken my eyes off of that and put them onto nothing, but it's nothing that I haven't seen already. What do you think I was looking at? I'm staring out this giant window. What do you think I was looking at while I was driving?
They're stopping. Yeah, no shit.
I was looking up. Do you think I was looking out the driver's side window? Or do you think I was staring out that big ass fucking window in front of us?
You were playing Slug Bug. You're looking for Volkswagen Beetles.
I was looking for out-of-state plates.
Ooh, Connecticut. Ooh.
Like, I'm scanning the horizon like Terminator. I'm seeing all that. I'm watching people slow down. I'm watching this dude come up on the passenger side speeding who's been riding my ass. I already know that he can't get more than one car ahead of me. That's why I haven't tried. But there he goes, and he sits down one car ahead of you. Fucking idiot.
You know what happened today? I went to the print shop to pick up some of my awesome full color free brochures for Big Man Comics that you can pick up at Comic-Con. This is collectible. This is going to be beautiful. I printed up hundreds of these and they're free. They're awesome. They have all the new comics I'm doing in the next year and a half previewed in there. When I was driving home from the print shop here in San Diego, there was a gentleman who seemed very liberal looking to me on his bicycle in the middle of the road. In the middle of the lane, not over to the side where they belong. Bikers, some of the most annoying people in the world. People riding bicycles on city streets where there are hundreds and hundreds of cars, and he was just cruising 7 miles an hour right in front of me. So when it was safe, I got out from behind him. Then I got up next to him. I told him to get out of the middle of the effing road. And he just like had his little look on his face and kept going. If you ride a bike in the middle of the road like you think you're a car at 10 miles an hour, you're being an asshole and you're wrong. Just
Isn't there a bike lane?
I don't know.
California, there's got to be a bike lane.
Get out of the middle of the road.
There's a lane for that. They have their own lane. It's California. They're fucking everywhere. Ugh. I guarantee you they're in downtown San Diego. So get in the bike lane. Why would you want to be out here?
Bike people. They're dressing like Lance Armstrong. Like, you're not in the Tour de France. Get out of here.
But why would you inconvenience people? Why would you put yourself in harm's way out in the road with cars?
It's a passive-aggressive soy boy thing. They're probably some loser with no power in their life, and this feels like power to them. Like, yeah, everybody wait as I pedal my bike down the road.
But that's dangerous. Cars get rear-ended. Cars get rear-ended. What do you think they're going to do to you? Fuck that. I wouldn't want to be out on the roadway with no damn cars.
I started losing weight. I started exercising really hard and losing weight about 10, 11 years ago. And I bought a bike. $600 because I had to buy a tall man's bike. Regular bikes are not good for the length of my legs and my torso and all that. I bought this expensive bike. I sold it in 2 weeks because I rode it around my neighborhood and said, oh, there's cars everywhere. And instead of being an asshole and saying, all these cars need to slow down and wait for me, I said to myself, I need to not ride my bike around a city. If I want to ride a bike, I should go up to the hills or a trail. Bikes don't belong here. There are millions of people in San Diego. Get your bike out of the damn road.
Dude, it's dangerous. Fuck that. People not paying attention. They're in a hurry. You're in a blind spot.
What does a vehicle weigh? 4,000-5,000 pounds? And people are on their cell phone. You're dead if they hit you, dude. You're not
and then what?
Hurt.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not going to make your legs work.
Right.
Or put your brains.
That's why I got rid of the bike. I got rid of the bike right away. I rode it around town. I'm like, holy shit, this is dangerous. So, I don't know. And then I sold it like on Craigslist or something, but you don't want to meet them at your house. So I met the guy at a Vaughn's near my house, but he ended up being normal. I don't know.
Yeah, no freaks.
I don't know. I don't want to meet someone at my house like selling.
Hell no. Fucking weirdos. Yeah. Maybe casing the joint.
Oh, that's true. Look, this letter, like they want to be a car, the bike people, and we get to all the laws of the car, but then the red light, they just blow it and they fly right through it.
Dude, that's even stupider.
Ugh. Bike people are a menace. Bike people to me are almost as bad as people bringing their fucking dog to the grocery store or restaurant. Leave your piece of shit dog at home.
Yeah, if you're not blind,
attack each other at a Mexican restaurant. One dog had the other dog's like throat in his jaws. It was a little dog and a big one. And the lady with the big dog, of course, couldn't control it. Mm-hmm. And then pulled him off and like, he didn't bite your dog. And we're literally watching the dog strangle the other one. I saw a dog at Vaughn's, that's a grocery store here in California, sniffing and like putting his disgusting mouth. They lick their own ass all over the candy and the chips are low by the register. Mm-hmm. They're just touching all of it with his shit covered mouth.
No,
quit bringing your dogs out. Leave them at your damn house. I love dogs. I have a dog. I don't bring my dog out like that. Holy shit, dude. Knock it off.
If you're not blind, keep your fucking dog at the house or in your car.
It's so selfish. It's so gross. I went to this really nice Italian place with my wife. Not cheap. We're on the patio. We're eating. And I realized the table next to us has a giant black dog under it. A giant, like a monster. Waiter comes up to give that table their salad or bread. Like dog goes crazy. The owner has to pull it from attacking the waiter.
Fuck that.
I would have told them, get him out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Don't bring
your damn piece of shit up somewhere.
No, it's such narcissism. It's just disgusting. Don't bring your fucking dog anywhere. Jeez.
But it's part of the family.
That bring their dog everywhere. The same assholes that bring the dog everywhere don't want a baby on an airplane.
It's gonna be
in a movie theater. Shut up.
He has a date with his girlfriend.
Ugh.
We have this guy we met at the coffee place, and he has a dog just like Benson here. And they're boyfriend girlfriend. They meet up and they can see each other. It's so funny.
No thanks. And the people that get mad at a baby on a plane, do these people forget that they were a baby and they cried and adults heard it? What kind of disgusting narcissist doesn't like babies? What's going on in society? Oh, let's get back to this awful movie because now I'm pissed.
Yeah, so this is halftime basically. This is an intermission. He's going back. He's talking to the government. Who are telling him that they want to see what's his name, Ben Richards, on there, and they better be there because they want the ratings and all this shit. So he's kind of getting his makeup redone, and they're talking to the government on the phone, and then he's coming out for round 2. So the second act,
right?
And now they're showing him the stalkers buzzsaw, rah, rah, He has fucking chainsaws, so you know that's Buzzsaw. And so he's the first or second.
You could get a better costume at like
R.I.P.
party, and like Spirit Halloween has better costumes.
R.I.P. Fucking Sub-Zero. He's the first. This guy's the second. Buzzsaw. He is going to take Ben Richards out. And I looked this guy up. I looked at the cast, and this guy's.
He looks like the dad from Orange County Choppers.
Yeah, he's like 6'5", 300 some pounds. He's fucking huge. These guys are all like former wrestlers and shit like that. Even Jesse the Body, he's a former wrestler.
Right. And then they show this guy, Dynamo.
Yeah. Who's wearing like Christmas lights.
He's like a light bright.
And it's $27 million. Or the budget was $27 million.
Apparently this guy can zap people with his hands because he has electric powers. Now, our girl, she got captured after she stole the computer disk with the footage. Mm-hmm. I never saw the part where she got captured. How did I miss it?
I don't remember it either.
She gets captured, and now she's going to be on the show and get killed too.
I think they just said that she got caught because the secretary told him, "Sir, we caught what's her name in the footage room stealing."
Because I was like, I must have missed it, that scene.
From the Bakersfield. Massacre.
I don't know how you don't like this movie, Jericho. It's so bad.
It's fucking dumb.
But it's like it's
come on.
The reason I love this movie is the incredulity that this movie makes me feel of like, how is this a real movie? That's what I love. Like, how did this really happen?
It's too real. And like you said, Stephen King was on a lot of drugs at the time. He was riding high too.
I guess.
Books and movies. Fucking Stephen King was coked the fuck out.
They throw her in the bobsled. They launch her down the toilet into the war zone with the three guys. They're looking for the transmitter. If they can get to that thing and Nerd Boy can hack into it, then they can broadcast the truth to the people of the earth and let everybody know this is all a scam and mind control by the government. And this whole Running Man thing is awful and staged and blah, blah, blah. They're going to get to the bottom of the truth. That's their goal. They're trying to get there.
That transmitter looks like, can you go back to it? That looks like the house from the Wizard of Oz with a fucking satellite dish on it. Like when it was falling out of the sky. That looks fucking ridiculous. And then, so yeah, they go, and I don't know why, if you go back, I don't know why Arnold's, that right there. I don't know why his suit's yellow and there's a silver and red. That was never explained. But
he's the star, apparently.
I guess so.
Real quick, Captain Haruno, for Cinco, we need a double impact bingo card for all recurring topics and stories that keep coming up on the show. I got that's my go-to bingo. That's my go-to bingo. Right. Right.
That's a good idea.
All right, that is not a bad idea. And thank you for the dinero, friend. Here you go.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Shake your
booty. We shake it for money on this show. You throw 5 on the stage, you get a booty shake.
Who doesn't shake it for money?
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I think we need to hit the gas pedal a little bit on some of these scenes.
So anyway, she goes down the bobsled tube. She gets chased by the biker boys. The people cheer like just complete psychopaths.
Yeah, that's like an office. That's like a fucking bunch of cubicles.
Instead
of people are like,
kill
him.
Oh,
crazy.
So she happens to run into the gang of guys there. And then she's all offended that they said the news and the TV show said she was his girlfriend, the butcher of Bakersfield. So she's got they've got the people believing I'm your girlfriend. And she's all disgusted. He's all, well, there's a camera right now. I can kill you in front of everyone on it.
Just that'll make you feel better. Oh, and that's when she's starting to realize, oh, they're full of shit and they lie.
Right.
Because that didn't happen. And earlier she saw a clip where they said that he killed some people at the airport when he escaped. And then she literally says, hey, that's not true. Why did they report that? Like, oh, we get it. Just a look on your face told us that you couldn't believe that they would do that. You didn't need to say it.
So food shortages, propaganda, fake news. That sounds real familiar. 2017. Huh. Interesting.
Maybe they were just a few years off.
Huh. Anyway, we got more of the outdoor gambling, and here comes Buzzsaw.
Wing.
For some reason, he rides a motorcycle. He drives by and chops people. He fucking slashes Yaphet Kotto in the face and arm, I think.
I think got him like in the chest or something.
Something bad.
It got bad.
But he doesn't die yet. Just takes him down. And
he as would any of us if we took a chainsaw to the pecs.
And he ties up Arnold like in a cable and drags him. And poor Yaphet looking all brutalized. And then this dude, this huge dork that picked Buzzsaw in the crowd, he's winning all kinds of shit and prizes because Buzzsaw's doing good. Then Nerd Boy and the girl, the Hispanic girl, they find the terminal with, something. He has to hack something. He has to hack in to get the codes. And he tells her, remember these numbers. I guess these numbers help you hack something. So he tells her he's going to have to remember these numbers, and he's repeating the numbers to her. That's important for later. Arnold squares off with this guy. They wrestle around a bit. They fight over chainsaws. They look like they're going to kiss here, which is very strange to me. And the crowd's going crazy, cheering for all this mayhem and all this bloodshed. Oh, Jericho's talking to someone. Oops. And they get into a struggle, wrestling over the chainsaw, and they're going back and forth, and there's a little bit of like one-liner play. And he said he says something Buzzsaw like he's gonna put this saw into his body, and Arnold tells him like to keep it and shove the chainsaw like in his gut or his crotch.
His crotch.
Oof.
And the guy's like, then he gets like all high pitched screaming like that really happens if something happens to your balls, your voice gets fucking high pitched. But yeah, he went ahead and fucking sawed him fucking dick first, which had to hurt for a few seconds before he just turned his dick and his balls into taco meat. But and then cut to Nerd Boy is putting in the codes or getting codes.
He's hacking the mainframe.
Yeah. And he tells her, hey, do me a favor and memorize these numbers. And so as the numbers pop up on the screen, he's reading them to her, and he says, repeat them to me. So she repeats them to him, and then Buzzsaw Zap or fucking Dynamo sees him and then hits him with a fucking electricity blast, kills him, goes after her. Then he catches up to her. You can see them right there, and he's having a hard time pinning her down. Like he ends up zapping her with some electricity, like a taser, to fucking put her out. Yeah. But he's struggling to make her lay down. Like that dude is 6'6", 300 some pounds. He's gigantic. She's 5 foot something, 105 at best, and he's having a tough time putting her where he wants her to be. That shit was so stupid. Like she's so strong.
He's so fat and disgusting. This guy, he's got zero muscle mass.
He's huge. There's no way that woman.
Fluff.
No, he's like the guy's an opera singer. When he's singing an opera, that's really his voice. Yeah, he does that when he's like stalking somebody, but it's his real voice. And he's a former amateur wrestler and shit. Like he's probably really athletic for his size. But the point is, he's gigantic, and he's having a tough time. She's struggling with it. That just pissed me.
For whatever reason, he quits paying attention to her, and he goes after Arnold in the Goobermobile here.
Yeah.
He jumps in this thing. Arnold runs up a hill of debris.
Come on.
And he drives the car up the hill like a bricks and iron girders and all this broken
but like
stuff.
This at a fucking angle like this.
Like a 50-degree angle. And then it just, of course, inevitably just crashes and rolls. And that's literally him upside down rolling in his little loser mobile.
Which would have killed him, by the way.
Right.
And the whole time he's chasing Arnold, Arnold's outrunning him, and that thing is doing like 50 miles an hour.
So then Arnold moseying down the hill with this steel rod or pipe. Mm-hmm. And the audience is like, kill him. And he's like, oh, you lost power. And he's screaming to the cameras, go to commercial, because he loses all his electrical power. And for whatever reason, Arnold doesn't kill him. He just stabs into the car or whatever with that pipe, but he doesn't stab the guy.
I can't kill an unknown person.
Right.
That's what he says. Because he's such a good guy. That even though he's even a piece of shit like you, like even though you're a bad guy, I'm such a good guy that if you're unarmed, I can't kill you. Even though I was unarmed and you were in the same position, you would shove that iron rod into my clavicle.
Right. And these old ladies like, kill him. It's like,
dude, even the old ladies fucking all bloodthirsty and shit. Everybody in the whole city is like, blood, get out. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you people?
So then they cut to like
suits and ties and shit.
Right. They cut to like a backstage shot. We see Jesse Ventura right behind the guy with the white streaks in his hair. Mm-hmm. And the guy with the white streaks in his hair. Yeah. Yeah, it's Jim Brown, the Hall of Fame football player, of course. And Cleveland Brown. And he's gonna be Fireball is his nickname, right?
Yep.
It's like, okay, well, he's defeated Sub-Zero, he's defeated Buzzsaw, he's defeated Dynamo, so let's go with Fireball or whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah, Fireball. It says Fireball report backstage immediately. He like gets paged, and he's like, "My turn."
Right. So then after they get away from that, they get back over to Yaphet Kotto, who's now going to die. He tells Arnold, "You got to come through. You got to get the broadcast transmitter, show the people the truth, set the people free with the truth, and we're all counting on you." And then he dies. And
and don't forget the one-liner after he killed Buzzsaw. She goes, "What happened to Buzzsaw?" "Oh, he split." Wow.
Right. So then there's a camera, there's cameras around the wasteland where the TV company has their camera set up so they can film this like a game show. And he hears a voice coming over it, and it's Killian. And there happens to be like a billboard screen. So they talk, and he says, Killian starts making him a deal. "I'll let you be one of the hunters. We'll sign you to a 3-year deal. Yeah, my word of honor, blah, blah, blah." So this is the temptation of the devil here, right? He's going to give him money, spare his life, and this and that. But you're not going to tell the public any of the truth. You're not going to help the freedom fighters. You're just going to become part of the machine, one of us. Join the evil. And Arnold grabs the camera off the thing and rips it, holds it. And this is a good shot here. It's that kind of like first person or that camera shot where he's staring into the barrel of the camera, talking to the audience, but he's really talking to Killian. I'm telling Killian, like, fuck you, I'm not taking a deal, and I'm coming for you. So just be ready.
I'm gonna shove my fist into your belly and rip out your spine.
That's
and
right.
Then slams the it was like a long, like he said way too much.
Right. So his offer didn't work. And here he comes to the fanfare. Here comes Fireball. And he comes out.
Yeah.
We're showing clips of him. The audience is going crazy. Jesse Ventura sees all the fame and glory that Fireball still has. And he's looking at the old photo of himself. And he's kind of reminiscing and I think he's lamenting that he retired and he wants to get back in the game and back in the action. And so we get this sequence where Fireball comes out and the people are like touching him and cheering for him. And he's just like a legendary. I guess he's like the best guy out now because Jesse Ventura retired from being a hunter. So, and then he flies up. I guess he's going to fly over a wall into the danger zone or whatever. And the people are starting to bet on Arnold, the people that are illegally gambling outside. And that's driving people nuts. That's driving the hosts of the show and all the government people. Because the government is behind this thing. This is like bread and circus, right? It's like the Roman gladiator thing. It's the same thing to keep the populace, keep them distracted from the real shit that's going on. Sound familiar?
Very.
So they're making their way, and all of a sudden, whoosh, fire. They're being hunted. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like how all the stunts always involve feats of strength for Arnold to show off his muscles and his ability.
That's all he got.
Right.
He's not like a karate guy. He's not like known for his fighting. He's just a big buff dude who can like pick up phone booths and rip workout equipment out of the wall and shit like that.
Now, in the pile of crap that this movie is, this is, I think, a great shot. He throws his barrel of fuel at Fireball. It spills all over the ground. He lights it on fire, and then he comes walking through the fire.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool, but pretty dumb if you're wearing a backpack filled with flammable liquid.
If you're wearing two napalm tanks on your back, you probably don't want to walk slowly through 7-foot flames.
You wouldn't walk through 700-degree flames with 8 gallons of fuel on your back?
Not right now. And look how tall
the hose is rubber for the fuel.
Look how tall that flame is. It's taller than him. And he has 2 fucking tanks on his back. It's
a good shot, though. And,
it is.
And he walks through the fire. It's pretty cool. It's a really good shot. So, and then they get split up, her and Arnold. After the flame attack, they end up, because Arnold fights him, she runs off. Mm-hmm. So now they're split up, and Fireball goes after her. And she enters this weird, like, locker room, kind of like deserted, not office, but it's like a weird place. And she runs into some dead bodies.
Dead, burnt bodies.
Yeah. And it's like, what? What is this? And, she's freaking out and screaming. It's not a jump scare, but it's like a good little kind of, not a horror movie scene, but it's kind of gross. Mm-hmm. And then Fireball, he corners her. And she's like, this whole thing is a lie, because I thought if people escaped, they got their freedom or they got a reduced sentence or whatever, but apparently they're just killed anyway or whatever.
Burn them.
She all these. What does she say? Something like, "These are last year's losers," and then Jim Brown tells her, "No, these are last year's winners," or something like that.
No, she said, "Is this last year's winners?" She's like, "No, this is last year's losers."
Oh, I got it backwards. Oops.
You're gonna join a bitch,
right? So he's ready to burn her. She's standing on the barrel of his flamethrower, and then Arnold comes down from the ceiling and rips the hose off the backpack. Go ahead.
It kind of makes you not a bad guy when you have safety goggles on.
Safety first. But yeah, he rips that off. And earlier he had stole the flare.
Mm-hmm.
And what does he? Oh, he says, "Need a light."
Need a light.
And there's fuel everywhere because the hose is ripped. And he throws the flare at him. And things don't go his way.
No, kaboom. And then Arnold says, what is it? He's a real hothead. I was like, come on, dude.
Come on, it's awesome.
Every single kill had a corny fucking one line that followed.
So then, yeah, he burns to death. The illegal gamblers outside are watching all this, and they're betting more and more on Arnold. The host of the show and all his producers, all that, they're kind of like lost what to do. But we still have, what is Jesse Ventura's name in this?
Captain Freedom.
Okay, Captain Freedom. We still have him.
Mm-hmm.
He says,
"I don't want to wear all this shit. I just want to do it old school, hand to hand, like gladiators. He says, I don't need all these weapons and fucking metal shit." And he tells them, "You're going to do it the way I tell you. Get the fuck out of here. Now, get him out of here." And so that big dude, who's in a lot of Arnold's movies and shit, he's in Commando. He's like a Swedish dude or a German dude. And he escorts Jesse the Body, Captain Freedom, out of the room so Captain Freedom can get ready to face Ben Richards.
Right. And as they try to run away, and her name is Amber, right?
Mm-hmm.
Amber and Ben, but she's got like a super thick Puerto Rican or Mexican accent.
She's Cuban.
Oh, Cuban. And then he's obviously got the Austrian thing, but they have like some of the whitest American names.
Yes.
And
Benjamin.
Right. Benjamin and Amber. The gate shuts on them. Benjamin and Amber sound like two people who just closed on their new home at the golf course or whatever, you know?
Yeah, their golden retriever is still a puppy.
Right. Ugh.
But he tied the key to their new house around the puppy's neck with a red ribbon and put him in the bedroom. But what's around your neck, boy? But the gates, they like swing down and shit. Like as they're running toward him, they like flip from the side and shit just closes, so they're trapped. And so he goes, "I guess they want us to stay in here." Yeah. Who the fuck wrote this? Like, yeah, we know they want you to stay in there because they trapped you.
Heather says that Apple Pan restaurant looks good. They had a meetup there after Sam Rubin died. It was his favorite. Never been. I don't know why you mentioned the Apple Pan, but my daughter is a great stand-up comedian. She does roast battles, and we would take her up to Jam in the Van. That's in Culver City. And she would go do the stand-up, and me and my wife would drive around there. It's by Sony and Fox and all that in Culver City. And the Apple Pan was right by Jam in the Van. I don't mean for all this to rhyme. And I'd heard of the Apple Pan years ago because Adam Carolla spoke about the Apple Pan, and it's fantastic, Heather. If you get over to Culver City and you get to the Apple Pan, it's like 100 years old. And they have great pies. They have cheeseburgers, fries. It's a great little diner place. It's weird. The cooktop is like in the center, sort of, and then it goes back to a kitchen. And you sit around it in like a square-shaped U, you know. And I ordered the apple pie, and it was outrageous. But it is well over 100 years old, that place, I believe. And they have recipes on the back, and they say, "Oh, this apple pie is from this lady from Wisconsin, and this, peach pie is from this lady from Ohio." And it's a 1903 recipe. But the Apple Pan, if you're in Culver City, Los Angeles, some of the studios are there. Check it out. I don't know why you mentioned the Apple Pan, but yes, it's absolutely delicious.
Yeah, anywhere called the Apple Pan, it is delicious.
It's muy delicioso.
I'll go out on a limb on that one.
I will confirm the Apple Pan is fun. As they say in German, it's fantastisch.
Yeah. Fantastisch. Yeah, so they're trapped in the room. Obviously, they want you to be in there. And then
they have a weird, somber dance routine where they show the different guys that died. They show some. They show all audience, you know, remember them and their memories and what they fought for. And then they cut to Jerkass, and he's doing video editing, and he's using the computer to composite Arnold's face digitally, by capturing his face digitally from some of the other fights he's in, because they're going to put it on some other people. So that's who Jesse Ventura can kill. And they can get the audience to think he defeated all these people. Oh, Heather says a video just popped up. Are they still doing commercials during the live? What the hell, dude?
We didn't ask for that.
I did not ask for that. I don't know. How weird. How weird. So yeah, they're compositing his face digitally, which in 1987 must have seemed insane. But now you look what we could do with the AI and the deep fakes and all that. I was like, yeah, we could do that.
The CGI on like a regular movie if it was around back then would be fucking mind blowing.
Right. So when they were caught by the gate, the old dude who was the freedom fighter leader, he rolled up on them, and I guess he gets them out of there and gets them to his secret base. And he tells them, we're going to storm the castle. We're going to get real rifles and all that. We're going to go in there. We're going to use the transmitter. We're going to broadcast the truth because Amber has the discs of what really happened in Bakersfield. We're going to broadcast that to the world. Everyone will see the government is lying. The TV people are lying, and that'll turn the public on this evil government. And we're going to storm in there with rifles. So that's the plan now. No more yellow jumpsuit. So then Arnold, Jesse Ventura fights Amber and Ben and kills them both, but it's those deep fakes. So it's kind of weird. He kills them both for the audience. You know?
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, wait, there's no fucking way you killed Ben Richards. And then he's like, hey, they're making him think he killed me.
What do you call this move here?
The face rake, I guess.
I don't know what this is.
I don't know.
So yeah, they watch themselves die on TV. And then she's like, oh, good, we can just move out of here. And then Arnold points out to her, no, they know that we're not dead. The bad guys, the public doesn't know. Of course, they don't want us to be found alive because then that makes them look stupid. So, of course, they're going to hunt them down. So he tells her, no, we do need to storm the castle because she's just like, okay, good, we can get out of here. And he points out to her, no, silly woman, we've got to go in there and take them out. So they get strapped to the gills. It's kind of badass. They're going through the steam boilers and all the stuff in the basement, and they got that saunter. Him and her and a gang of dudes wearing berets with their M16s and all this other stuff. And we go back to the main game show where they're still celebrating the life of Sub-Zero and all the others. And they're celebrating the victory of Jesse Ventura over Arnold and the girl.
He killed our stalker, and we avenged his death right away.
Right. But then the broadcast starts, right? Does the broadcast start now? Yeah. So the broadcast starts. You're able to see her. You're able to see the dead people. Somehow she got footage of that. The people that are dead down in that weird locker where she ran into Fireball. And then you see the truth of the butcher of Bakersfield. You see that it wasn't Arnold that did that. So then all the audience is like, you know, they're all like grumbling and protesting this. They don't like it. And you see that Arnold was not the villain. Now, what do you think of these guys? Arnold's squad of killers here, Jericho.
I mean, they look a little, what are those dudes, that gang of people in New York who wore the red berets and they would protect people in the neighborhood?
The Guardian Angels.
Yeah, it's like a little guardian angel, but I mean, hey, that's what you got, man. That's what you got. You got to remember Arnold's on your team, so you're good.
Right. So they storm the studio. She's stalking through, shooting dudes in the hallway, and she runs back into this guy. Now I need your commentary on him, because Dynamo was not dead. He is back. He's back with a vengeance.
I mean, for a $27 million movie in the early 80s, I guess when they started, this is an atrocity. Even for the 80s, this is fucking ridiculous. Somebody made this at home and then brought it to the set.
Somebody's grandmother made this suit for Halloween.
Hey, you mentioned your grandma does arts and crafts, right? Yeah, she's pretty good. Hey, take her this sketch and see what she can do.
I think he's supposed to look like a circuit board, right? With LEDs all over.
I guess.
So he rolls up on her. He's like, not so mouthy now, huh, bitch, or whatever. And then he's like, why aren't you laughing? And then she says something like, there's nothing funny about a dickless guy with a battery up his ass or something like that.
Yeah. Some bullshit.
And she punches him right in the dick and tries to get away from him between his legs.
Yeah, but he grabs her leg.
Right. And this is that thing you were talking about. Where the hero's like, come on, come on.
Yeah. Move it, get down, get out of the way, run. Like some kind of directions. And so fucking Christmas lights over here is about to, finally
he says
do
to
what
her,
he
you're so right about the dialogue being so crap in this movie. Because she says to him, a dickless guy with the battery up his ass. He says to her that he's going to show her dickless. It's like, you realize that's not like, makes you sound stupid, dude.
Yeah, I'll show you that you're correct. I don't have opinions. It's fucking stupid.
Now this is the shot of the movie.
Yeah, look at that. And look at that fucking taint right there. The undercarriage. You got your fucking money's worth on this movie.
This is why this movie's amazing. How is this a real movie?
You want to see some undercarriage? There you go.
At least his underwear doesn't have a brown streak or holes in it, dude.
Yeah, he's good, man. At least they put some money into the fucking underwear budget for this fucking movie.
But the gun goes off in her hand. She reaches for a gun when she's on the ground. She reaches for a gun. The gun goes off, hits the fire sprinkler, and then water goes all over him.
And he gets electrocuted because he's full of electricity. Pretty smart, huh?
Think about what you think about. It says this should be the poster for the movie. I don't see a problem with it.
The carriage. Does he have a jock strap? What's that? Yeah, he might have a jock strap too.
He's a jock ass.
Keep the balls from falling out.
I guess. So that's disturbing.
Yep.
Goodness.
But look at that. Look how he's struggling with her. And he's on top. He has gravity on his side. And she's going to fucking put up a fight against this big ass dude.
He's just a tub of goo, this guy. So he meets a shocking end. And the people still watching. The people are just still out for blood. But they're very upset that all their evil hunters are getting killed.
Yeah, they want the other guys. They want the runners to get killed.
And now, the final scene. The auditorium or whatever, the sound stage is emptied out. There's only Killian and Arnold there, and the guard that looks very, very Russian to me.
Yeah, he is. He's like German or something.
Dmitri or something like that,
Yeah.
And earlier, Killian had snapped at Dmitri and said, all the steroids are gone to your brain or whatever. Like,
do steroids make you not hear?
Right. So he tells Dmitri to handle Arnold. And Dmitri quips back something like, all the steroids made it so, he can't listen or follow directions or something like that. And he leaves Killian to himself. He's like, you figure Arnold out.
Yeah, you're on your own, piece of shit. And that's not going to work out. As you can see, that little old man versus a 40-year-old Arnold is not in his favor. Right. It's really unfortunate.
So Arnold fucking choke slams him and throws him into the bobsled. Turns it on. And then I forget the one-liner that he tells him, but it's horrible.
I told you I'd be back.
There you go.
And then
launches him down the train.
Down the poop chute. Yeah.
5 Julian. It looks terrifying, by the way, because it's long.
It does.
It's not like it's 30 yards. It feels like it's a mile. Because when they show the footage, they keep showing it and showing it and showing it at 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, you're going hundreds of miles an hour in that fucking tube. It's real fast.
Luke Capadona says he's going to get some steroids. I disavow that. It's not safe.
Hey, it's your body, man.
I have to say I disavow it because it's YouTube.
Treat your butt like a pincushion.
There you go. And he goes racing down this tube, and he runs into that horrible Coca-Cola sign or whatever.
Yeah.
Arnold says something like, right on target or something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember what he fucking tells him. I'm done with this fucking one-liners. I'm done.
Hey, guys, you missed one of the worst movies Arnold's ever made. Yeah, here's the thing, though.
Easily.
This is 100 times better than Junior, where he has a baby.
Oh.
I can't get a half hour into that movie. I tried. I had to turn it off.
Well, we'll get to it eventually. We have to. We have to conquer your fear. We have to.
We'll have to do it. So yeah, he sends that guy to hell. The audience now cheers.
Yeah, because remember they started betting on the runners. That old lady was like, "I want Ben Richards," and he's like, "Don't you mean one of the stalkers?" She's like, "No, I can pick who I want. I want Ben Richards. He's a tough motherfucker." So the crowd was turning and going with supporting Ben Richards. So yeah, they're happy because fuck it, he was the one doing the killing. I guess eventually they got behind him.
Right. So then she shows up after killing Dynamo, the Electro Boy. He's just killed the host, Killian. They've killed everyone. They get the kiss.
Terrible kiss. Arnold's never been a good kisser.
And then you get an awesome 80s power ballad. When you're running away. I don't know the lyrics, but it had something to do with like
it seriously had like running in it or something like that.
Yeah, it's just awesome.
In the first line.
Yeah.
I think this movie was produced by On the Nose Productions.
Double Brewski for 2. Can we get a reading on this, Jericho?
See you at the party, Richter. Wait, wrong film. Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you for the 2 double. Here you go.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Shake your booty.
Now that's it, guys. That's The Running Man.
Oof, we made it.
That is an awful movie.
That was real bad.
I love it.
One of the worst.
What are other things that are terrible that you can enjoy? I think only movies. You can't enjoy a bad restaurant. You can't enjoy bad music. You can't enjoy a bad book. You can enjoy a bad movie, though. There's something about it that's funny.
Yeah, you get that secondhand embarrassment, if it's a good one, like a real bad one.
The worst I ever got was Borat. I never saw the whole thing. I got to the part where he was singing the national anthem at a rodeo, and I turned it off. I couldn't take it.
But it was really groundbreaking for its time to have somebody go out and like talk to real average people like that. That shit was pretty crazy. But I thought it was funny. I have a very sophomore sense of humor, but Borat was just ludicrous. Just how ludicrous it was.
And I'm not shy. I don't have stage fright, and I'm looking at Borat like I can't believe he's doing this shit.
He did it. Old Sacha Baron Cohen.
So, The Running Man, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give that, Jericho?
Like, seriously?
Seriously.
Like,
100% serious.
A 1?
It's that bad to you?
Yeah.
How far is this from Bulletproof Monk to you?
Okay, we're doing that. Then I'll give it a 3.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put Bulletproof Monk at 0. We'll put it at the bottom. The worst movie you hate. So this is a 3.
Monk is awful.
Wow. Now, other horrible movies that we love, like No Holds Barred, how different is this to you than that? Because I love No Holds Barred. I love Stone Cold. I put those up there. I really like them, even though they're bad movies. I really like them.
I mean, yeah, they're fucking. That was terrible too, but it was just something different about it. It was expected to be more cartoony and ridiculous and stupid and this was Arnold at the height, big time star. Hulk Hogan was not that. And this is what we got.
Is that why it bothers you so much? Because Hulk Hogan is supposed to be a star. Arnold's supposed to be a star, and it's so low quality. Is that what really bugs you about it?
That's part of it. Yeah, come on. And Stephen King's involved. They had to be on drugs, and he wasn't the only one. No way.
What are you thinking for next week? We got 1 week of shows, and then we're doing the week after that will be the Comic-Con party, so we won't do a show then. It'll be my birthday.
I would say. I don't know. We gotta give that some thought.
Okay.
So I want it to be a good one.
A good one, not a bad movie again.
Well, I mean, just a good pick. Whether it's a shitty movie or not, that's
All right. Well, I'll let you pick
a good shitty movie.
I picked this one, so you can pick the next one.
Okay. Deal.
Yeah. So, is there anything you need to promote? Anything you want to let people know what you're up to? Where they can see you? Where they need to subscribe and follow and all that? Or what's up?
No, I'm seen where I'm usually seen. X, Instagram, YouTube. Just hit the channel. Everything's there.
Okay.
Just get ready for Comic-Con.
It's gonna be awesome. Have you done Red Sonja? No. We only did Conan the Barbarian. We've never done Conan the Destroyer or Red Sonja. Huh.
No, Red Sonja with Ernie Reyes Jr. and Brigitte Nielsen.
Maybe we should.
Take it under consideration.
Not a bad idea.
Great
Black on
suggestion.
Down. Black Hawk Down, we have to wait for Matthew Marsden to be available.
We definitely have to have him on that.
Yeah.
For sure.
I just saw Black Hawk Down for the first time ever 2 weeks ago.
Crazy.
That's a good movie.
Yep.
It did win a few Oscars, so I'm a little late to the party on that.
Yeah, it did all right.
Yeah. So yeah, I like the suggestion of Red Sonja. More Arnold, more everything, you know. So all right, guys. Check out all the links in the description. I am very excited for Comic-Con to be coming up. And I thank you all for being here. Hit the like and share. That helps out the channel. And I need your help to get this thing going, because when you live stream, YouTube doesn't really love that. So please make sure you're still subbed. Tell your friends about it. We have fun here. And thank you very much for everything. Oh, we got another super chat. Lou Capadona. Classic Arnold. Fun. Better than 99% of modern films. You're right about that, Lou. Absolutely right. True. And when you send one of those in.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty.
All right, awesome. How about Bulletproof with Damon Wayans? I don't know that movie.
Oh, that's a shitty one too. Not on the level of Bulletproof Monk, but yeah, it's definitely. These guys are huge. Why not?
Captain Haruno has never seen Conan. Watch it tonight if you have time. It's awesome. It's totally awesome. Yeah, watch Conan the Barbarian, Destroyer, but Conan for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, guys. All the links in the description. If you got anything else, Jericho, or else we out of here. We will see you guys. Anything? Oh, peace.